I wonder if that thumbnail is going to go live. Let me adjust my camera here. I mean, is that thumbnail going to be popular? Should I be laughing on my own live stream? I don't know whether I should or shouldn't or what. So this is a live stream. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes for it to get pushed out to all my subscribers. Be interesting. Oh, someone's on! Yay, someone's on! I'm so excited! Now I've got to spam some websites and tell people to get on. Shoot. I gotta load a bunch of stuff up, guys. I apologize. This is my third live stream. I really don't know what I'm doing. Yay, 9 people. Oh my gosh, there's people commenting. I'm so excited. With YouTube recommending my video, it's going all over the world, and I get all these nice, wonderful human beings both complaining and making decent comments. You saw my laundromat vid 30 minutes ago. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, okay. I got to get my computer on. I would use Open Broadcaster so it has that nice thing with it, but I actually don't have a camera that works with live streaming, so I'm using my cell phone. I figured I'd have all this crazy technology stuff because I've done it before and made it look really nice. Okay, I'm going to start answering. Slow down commenting, people. I gotta spam some Facebook groups and some chat rooms and stuff before I go because I've got some regular people. I'm sorry. Please don't thumbs down or log out. Shoot. Okay, we're going to start answering questions because you people can't. Well, I mean, I guess I won't wait either. That's the thing that I hate with live streams in a real general sense. You get on them and it's like. You get on them and you ask the question 20 times because the guy that's doing the live stream never reads it. I'm going to start reading them here a second. "10 seconds. I'm sorry to make you guys wait. I got so many complaints on my last one. You subscribers me. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going down the live stream comments. Oh, shoot. Hold on. This is why I need a high-speed internet connection. I was going to do it at my house, and it didn't work at all. Okay, cool. All right, first, what's up? What's up with you, Mario? I hope it isn't too confusing because I'm looking at my screen and not the phone. I've got a lot of complaints on that. You literally saw my laundromat minute 30 minutes ago. Yeah, for some reason YouTube has picked up the video and decided that they're going to send it out to 6 million people. So, let's see. Hey, man, you look like a cop from My Name is Earl. I love My Name is Earl. My wife quotes My Name is Earl once in a while. I don't know that I look like a cop, though. Everybody says I look like Shoe Nice. Like I am Shoe Nice's more successful, sober brother. So, okay. Hello, looking forward to learning. I am reading your comments. I got the notification, subbed a long time ago. You switched accounts a lot. Cool. Started live streaming. This is the third live stream. The other ones were from the laundromat. I was going to go to the laundromat tonight, but I felt lazy and came to my other office instead. How much money do you need for your first investment? It really depends on what you want to do for an investment. I mean, there's like a billion kinds of investments out there, and it'll be different for everybody. I'm big on real estate, but the thing is, there's a lot of areas that real estate's hard to do in, and it also takes a lot of technical knowledge. You don't want to do real estate, at least it wouldn't be my recommendation in real estate unless you know a lot about it. The nice thing is, with the fact of technology today, you can learn practically anything. I've talked about it a few times on my other videos. I've got a brother, and he fixes appliances. He runs an appliance fixing company, and 100% of what he has learned is from YouTube. And he just asked me if he could live stream tomorrow. So he said, "Can I borrow your microphone?" Okay, next question. Send me your foreign coins, please. I actually collect coins, and I've got a bucket of foreign coins, so you can't have them because I love foreign coins. 36 views. You make gaming videos and get 0 views. I'm sorry to hear that. If it makes you feel any better, I've had this YouTube channel for 2 or 3 years, and I got my first video got like 30,000 views, and then everything died on there. And it really was a situation where, oh my gosh, you guys can't hear me. There we go. Do I live in Columbus? I'm 20 miles south of Columbus. I'm going backwards through my comments. That's going to make it really awful. Some strategies. No, how much you need for first investment? I'll try to be more organized in the future. How much have you made to date from the laundromat? How much have I paid myself? I've paid myself zero, because most of my investments, I just keep rolling the money back around over and over again. How much money has that laundromat actually made as of today? I haven't done a collection yet. I'm going to do a collection video here real soon. The laundromats made between us opening the second week of July and today, it's probably around $3,000, maybe $3,500. That might not sound like a lot, but we've had a company come in. They've assessed it. They say I should be making $5,000 per month. Do I ever invest in Bitcoin? Yes, I do. I have many, many Bitcoin stories. I've been in it since 2011. So I was in it very early. Also lost all my Bitcoins due to a JavaScript virus. English HW. Oh my gosh. How the heck am I going to answer all these questions? Oh, I'm so happy you're commenting. Do I have all my places financed? Yes or no? A lot of my places are financed with... as far as like loans go, I have about a dozen-ish properties that are completely free and clear, no loans, nothing on them. I also have a lot of seller finance deals where I make the current owner act like the bank. They finance most or all the deal. That's what I did with the laundromat. They finance pretty much all of it. They act as a bank. I give them a mortgage, so I pay them 5 or 6% interest. Well, I've got a couple 5% interest deals. The laundromat 7% interest deals. I've got a couple 6% interest. That's the thing with real estate is you don't always need a bunch of money down to go and buy a property. Now I will tell you, it's free real estate. I had to do that once, but even though you don't need a lot of money to get into real estate, you need a lot of knowledge. So I hate the idea of renting properties out and you don't know the law real well. But it's a knowledge-based market. It's a knowledge-based economy. So it depends a lot on what you can bring to the table as far as knowledge goes. And due to the internet, you can learn a lot. Do I do my own repairs at the laundromat? Very little. My brother does. Average price of each laundromat I've purchased. The first one was $22,500. The second one was $27,500. The laundromat that almost all my videos are about, it was $85,000. But the seller carried a $70,000 or carries currently a $70,000 mortgage against the place. So I only had to come up with $15,000, which is cool. Brit vacation in Florida. Cool. My wife wants to go to Florida. If I miss your comment, I'm sorry. Have I ever lived in California? No, I have no interest in ever living in California. I actually had a guy offer years ago, probably 2013, if he asked me if I would want to go to California, he would pay for me to move there. Me and my family had no interest in that. I like Ohio so much. I love Ohio. See? Can answer my above question from Fortnite. Oh my gosh, there's so many more people on here than I thought. Yay! I appreciate and love every single one of you. So I apologize if I missed something. You found my channel 5 minutes ago. That's crazy. Startup cost for the laundromat, like I said, is $15,000 for the purchase of the laundromat, then $25,000 in rehab. I initially thought it was only going to be $15,000 to fix up. And the fire marshal came in and they said more or less that the laundromat was a fire danger. We had to go and fix all the stuff, and it was a disaster. There's a reason you don't see pictures of the garage in the back. It's still a mess. So you sell fish, that's cool. Mango Island, do you know who Joe is? I'm not sure which Joe. We're going to another state for a laundromat or trailer park. That's cool. You're trying to talk your wife into buying a laundromat. It's good to be on board with your spouse. It's really bad to have a situation where your spouse hates what you do. My wife just doesn't care. My kids love the laundromat. They ask me every week if they can come to the laundromat with me, get quarters, and they can steal snacks out of the vending machine. How did I start my laundromat business? It should be explanatory on the YouTube videos that I have. I'm also going to do like a 30-minute mini documentary on how I started all with the laundromats, but there should be almost all that content on my channel already. Oh my gosh, these comments are crazy. You and your friends are looking at a laundromat. We don't know how to keep our laundromat safe and free from thieves.
It's going to be impossible to do that, but we've got these really cheap cameras that have microphones and speakers on them. They're called Wyze, W-Y-Z-E. I could send you guys a link if you're interested. I could make some affiliate money, but they're 25 bucks and they are so nice. And I've got them all over my laundromat just so I can get on the app with my phone and call in. I've yelled at people trying to break into that coin pusher there. I need a claw machine. Yes, I absolutely need a claw machine. The problem is I have not found a cheap claw machine yet. If I could get one of those mini cranes for like 1,500 bucks, I would probably get one. It's just I haven't found a cheap one. I'm so cheap. Do I do e-commerce or stocks? I've dabbled in e-commerce. I do stocks. I've thought about doing some stock videos. I do not have any stocks anymore personally. I was 70% of my stock investments in Tesla back. I bought more Tesla, but I bought Tesla back in 2013 when they're $125 a share. I made a bunch of money off that. I took my whole portfolio, sold all my stock and all the Tesla stock when it was $372. I'm a big, big Tesla fan. But what I did was I converted it to something called a self-directed IRA, where you can use your IRA money to go in and buy real estate. So we used I used my IRA to buy real estate, and it's a real complicated deal, but that's what I did. I'm so sorry if I can't keep up with these. My brother needs to come here. I asked my brother to help me with this live stream, and he said he was busy with his kids. So did I answer the Bitcoin question? Yes, I have Bitcoin. Thanks for the videos, content. It's great. What are your average utility expense at the laundromat? I have an expense video on the laundromat already. It says, how much does the laundromat make in August? I meant to do one for September. I just didn't do it. I will do a combined profit and loss statement for both September and October, November the 1st or so. The utilities, it's like this month it was, or September's utilities were about $400 for water. The electric was like $350-ish, but that includes all the apartments there. We have 2 apartments above, and unfortunately I have to pay their electric bill. The way that the building's built was really stupid, and I have to pay for the electric upstairs. So it's like $350 for electric-ish, and then the gas bill was super low at $120 this month. I think the gas company overcharged me last month or the month before. Do I contract my crew? Yes, I do. I don't have any employees for the laundromat. I'm watching the stream live on YouTube, and for some reason it just doesn't. How many cars do I have? I have a Kia. And I have a Kia 2012 Kia Forte. It has a salvage title. I paid $4,300 for, and then our family vehicle is a 2008 Ford Expedition. I got a smoking hot deal. The guy lived in Florida most of the time. If you live in Ohio, cars get rust really easy. I paid $6,300 for it. I am very cheap. Does my wife have a job? She has a job watching the kids. How risk adverse am I? I'm getting more risk adverse as time goes on. How good vending machines? I like vending machines a lot. They're cheap. They're easy to get into. Holy crap! My phone updates, and it's like it's not. It's just like dropping 15, 20 messages. Crazy. Another laundromat or duplex? I will buy probably another laundromat rather than a duplex. If you're asking me. If you're asking for you, I don't know what your local market is, so it's high. What inspires me, Jesse? You inspire me. All these people inspire me. I'm so happy. Investment tips for a teen. I'm going to do a video specifically for investment tips for a teen and jobs that a teen can get. I've had tons of teens. I will pitch my Instagram real quick. It's under Investment Joy, so Instagram.com/Investment Joy. If you need to get a direct message to me, I can answer almost anything on there direct. If you are one of these poor souls that have asked me 20 times, I apologize. The message is scrolling super quick. I'm trying to go through this fast. But Instagram.com/investmentjoy. Just send me a PM on there. I'll do my best to answer it. Do I post nudes on Instagram? I'm trying to build my Instagram. I'm not trying to get people to hate me. So, okay, let's try these. You're 19, you have 2 rentals. How do I build a portfolio fast? The way I got my 140 in 6 years was I started using investment money. I have about a half dozen investors. I call them up. They wire money to my account whenever I need to buy properties. The money's more expensive than going to a bank. You can go to a bank and get money for 5 or 6%, but they have all these stipulations. When I need money, I get on, I send an email, I text message, or I get on Facebook Messenger and I message somebody and say, hey, send me some money. And that's how it works with investors. You have a question about a laundromat that cash flows $180K a year. The cost is $400K. Try Eastern Funding, but you also can talk to Dexter, Speed Queen, Alliance, those kinds of things. Bob Trayton, you're a pig. I'm sorry. You're going to be deleted. Hide this user. There we go. You're a piece of crap. Sorry. I'm so. Can I use that language? I'm sorry. What's the flow chart of my LLCs? I've got 8, I'm at like an 8 LLCs. Each one has a different purpose. I have laundromat LLCs, I have multifamily LLCs, I have single family LLCs, I have a trailer park LLC. What's it like owning a company? Every day I wake up without a job and I realize that I have to hustle. Where do I see myself in 5 years? I would love to have 500 rentals in 5 years. I had the president of a bank ask me that question 2 years ago, and I told him I'd just like some rentals, more rentals. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I should not tell him I want 500 rentals. And every single person I've talked to that works at a bank said, that's a great idea, Brandon. You should not tell the president of a bank you want 500 rentals, because he will cancel your loans because he'll think you're stupid. And, maybe 500 rentals, yes, that's what I want. My Instagram is investment. I want to put a link. I want to see if I can pin it. You guys like this? Do you like the live chat so far? It keeps growing, which is great. Do you like the format and stuff? I know it's kind of cheap and stuff, and it's in my office with a phone. Cool, good, yay. Okay, let's see. Can I pin that? Okay, it's Investment Joy, INVESTMENTJOY on Instagram. I'm going to try and stop it. Needing staff and assistants. Yeah, I've got my uncle works for me. He's like a certified CPA. He's been doing some accounting and stuff for me, sending out bills. I'm like a lot of people. I get late notices in the mail a lot. And it's not because I don't have the money to pay. It's because I forget. Like I tell you right now, there's bills on my desk right now that need paid. And it's because I am so busy. It's insane. So let's see. Recommend you books. Richest Man in Babylon, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and I like Basic Economics by Thomas Sowell. It's as long as the Bible is. It's 1,350 pages, but it's so cool. So I want to hire a moderator at some point. There's some. Am I buying another trailer park? I would like to. My investor / partner said that if I find him another trailer park, he will send my family on a all expense paid trip to Disneyland. He just said this out of the blue. And my wife found out, and she's like, I will kick you out of the house every day for the next year if this means that we can get a free trip to Disneyland. My wife is great. She's also super, super cheap. I mean, like, she's so cheap. It's great. She gets all my clothes, and she gets them from the thrift store. This shirt is thrift. This hat, I guess, is not thrift. The pants I'm wearing, you can't see them. They're cargo shorts. They are 20 years old, I want to say. So I'm very cheap on clothes. Get the personal assistant. I do want it. I hope you carry on this. Everyone recommends Rich Dad Poor Dad. Listen to his podcast. I don't listen to Kiyosaki's podcast. I don't like a lot of his investment advice. He's really big on tax lien sales, and that's a real specialized investment. You can do really well on tax liens, but to me, it's very specific. In the state of Ohio, it's almost impossible to invest in tax liens. States like Arizona and stuff, and Arizona and Florida are really good for tax liens. And if you listen to Kiyosaki, if you live in Arizona and Florida, you do great, but can I give you some money? Yes. I forgot. I am obsessed with $2 bills. Send me a message, whoever it was that said, can you have money? Send me a message with a screenshot of you asking for money. I'll mail you a $2 bill if you live in the United States. If you live outside the United States, the postage is going to kill me. But yeah, how often do my washers and dryers need cleaned? Every freaking day. I actually have a contractor. He's supposed to come in every night. And when I say supposed to, if you're watching this, Alan, I notice you don't clean the washers every night like you're supposed to. But he's supposed to come in and clean the washers and dryers every night. He doesn't always do it. I love $2 bills. Oh my goodness. You work at Walgreens, get some $2 bills sometimes. Every time I see a $2 bill, I buy it. And people that I know in my personal life, they know that too. And somebody came to me a while back and paid me a bill on a website that I built for him. It was $1,000 and they paid me $2 bills. So I have a drawer somewhere and it's just completely full of $2 bills. So, dear investment drive, considering opening a laundromat is a good business. Can I get some money? You're awesome. Andrew English, the gaming drummer, send me a message on Instagram with a screenshot. And I will mail you a $2 bill. So you have a blueprint too. How much do I make a month at the laundromat? Revenue or net? This month, I think we'll probably bring in revenues of over $5,000, maybe right at $5,000. Then I hope my net profit on that should be about $1,500. And it's just going to go up from there because most of my fixed costs are included. I get $2 from the bank and you tip with them. $2 bills are a good tip. Why are you so blunt? Is that a millionaire trait? You routinely call people out. It's refreshing. I work with tenants. People lie to me every single day in my life. I directly manage my property. So I get calls and talks with tenants. I had a tenant send me a message on Facebook just before I started the live stream. And she said, I've been in the hospital, Brandon. I'm sorry I didn't get you rent money. And, part of me says, "Oh crap! I feel so bad for her. She's in she's in the hospital. I feel bad for her." But then, if I would sit down there and think, she's lied to me 100 times before, and it's just like anymore. I get more blunt. Okay, town of 6,000 to 7,000. Would a laundromat be good? One of the videos that I'm going to be doing here in the near future is going to be my laundromat in a town of 1,500. So. Can you please tell me what's a good place to put your first vending machine? Everybody I've talked to that has a vending machine in a laundromat says they kill it. And we have a laundromat that I really would love to buy someday. I tried to buy it. I'll do a video on it. The guy is scamming the IRS. And I get all these messages on Facebook. They're like, you shouldn't talk about having a laundromat and all this money because the IRS is going to get you. The thing is with the IRS, unless you lie to them, they're not going to care. They're not going to come after you. And this guy is straight out scamming the IRS because he takes money from his equipment and he doesn't report it. And the laundromat's in a town of 1,500 people, and he's making he's bringing in 60 grand a year. Very small town. His net profit's about 40 if you would listen to him, not his tax returns. The tax returns are terrible. How much do I profit from the trailer park? If everything goes right and the wind blows right, we don't have any meth labs, and nobody shoots me, I think we'll make $15,000 to $20,000 net profit a month off the trailer park. Gross revenue should be in the $30,000 range, with about $10,000 going to everything. Laundromat versus car wash. I don't know about car washes. I want to buy one. So you need to subscribe and like every single video that I have, so we can cheat the YouTube algorithm. I will buy a car wash I will give you all free car washes, and we'll see how many quarters we can get. Is the trailer park a long-term hold? Absolutely. I want to have it for the next 20 years. That's why I'm trying to clean it up. Do I have a gas station? I have looked at the profit and loss statement on several gas stations. They either print money or they are making nothing. Okay, my investor is watching the live stream, and he just said, if I do buy a car wash, if I want to buy a car wash, he has to give me the money first. Give you a call later, the FBI. Is that the FBI or the IRS? I don't know. Can you invest with me? I'm looking at doing a qualified syndication someday. If you know what a hedge fund is, there's a way that a normal person can start something like a hedge fund. It's called a SEC 506 syndication. It doesn't cost that much money to start. Really, anybody can do it if you learn the paperwork. So I'm looking at doing something called a 506 qualified syndication. And if I do that, I can accept money from a lot of people. I'm in Central Ohio, right outside Columbus. You're glad you found me on YouTube. I'm glad I found you on YouTube, James. All right, how did I buy my first property? It depends on how you want to talk about first property. I helped my brother back in 2007 at the absolute peak of the market buy a little house here in town. The house is still kind of in my name. We bought it at the peak of the bubble. He still owns it. We use something called Alt-A financing, which is a subprime loan. It's like one of the dirtiest, crappiest loans you can get in real estate, because essentially I called a mortgage company. They said, we're going to send you paperwork and you need to sign it. And when you sign it, just send it, sign it, send it back to us. So I looked at the paperwork and it gave me a job. It gave me the income. I mean, they literally did all this crazy verification stuff on the loan application. I'm like, I didn't write any of this. So we sent it back in, and we still got the loan. It's a subprime loan. I still hold. We've never missed a payment. The rental makes my brother $735 a month, and he's had it since the bubble. All these people are concerned about a real estate crash, and the thing is, from my perspective, if you buy a property at the right price, it doesn't matter whether the economy is good or trash. All right, let's see. 227. If I had 35 cash, should I buy a house or property, or buy property to make cash gains? That's a real complicated question. You're going to have to invest in moderator. These tools are crazy. Do I live in a big house? I live in a kind of big house. It's old. It's not that great. How do I vet my tenants? I've got my own kind of own system. Congrats on going viral. Thank you. I say come through work today to get your monsters. Where did you see me, JK15, to get monsters? I went, gosh, you're right. I do need to moderate this. I am so sorry. They're saying mean words to everybody. And more of the checkup videos for your investments. I can do the checkup videos all day long. I've got complaints about them. Shootings in the trailer park, just one by an arcade. I would love to. Am I gay? No, I'm not. I'm married with 4 kids, happily married. Don't want to buy out of state. I like Southern Ohio, Central and Southern Ohio too much. When you get the Monster Energy drink vending machine going up, I sell Monster at the Laundromat. Monster's very low margin. I only make 50 cents for all my Monsters. It sucks. How do I get my location for my vending machines? I own the online location. So I have a laundromat in a town, 1,500. Do I live in the same town? No, I'm 20 minutes away. You'll mod for 50 cents. Where do I get the vending machines? I buy them used off Facebook Marketplace. Give us a play on the guitar. That one back there is not tuned. I would love to do a channel where I play guitar and stuff, but that's not where I'm good. I'm good at real estate. You and your friends are planning on opening a laundromat, and you think hiring a 24-hour concierge. The quotes we got are pricey. Do you think it's worth it? You want a theft-free zone? It's up to you. I mean, it's so hard. The thing that I've looked at for my laundromat, what I would like to do sort of, is hire a person to watch my cameras and run my two-way voice communication system, because I can get on my phone and yell at people. So I've thought about hiring a virtual assistant from like the Philippines or India or something like that, somewhere overseas in the opposite time zone of where I'm at in Ohio. And then have them just watch it, and if they have to, call the police, things like that. No electric guitar videos. I just made a video. Your dad will give you $9,000 when you grad. I want to invest like you did. How to? You should come work for me. I'm not hiring right now. I'm sorry. I get so many people asking me to work for me. It's insane. I get two or three people a week. Am I making money on this YouTube channel? I'm making more money on this YouTube channel than with a lot of my real estate investments. And it's it's upsetting to me. And the reason I say it's upsetting to me is I've been in real estate working hard at this for 13 years. And I post one video about not making money on a laundromat, and I make all this money off of it. And then I'm going to do a video, one of those gratuitous videos. How much money did you make on YouTube? I'm going to post one of those videos, and I'm going to make money on that video. And it's like, it's so easy to do this, but then I've got I got experience in marketing. I run the videos and stuff. Anyway, get on TikTok. I am on TikTok under Investment Joy. I have one video. Where do I get my money to start investing in real estate? I had a little website company years and years ago, and I sold it for $50,000. I took $25,000 to live on. I took $5,000 of the remaining $25,000. I hired a lawyer to write me agreements and setups or legal documents so I could accept investors. I took 20 grand, the last 20 grand, and I took that and I started this like investment fund, and I started calling some people and said, hey, I've got $20,000. I want to buy houses here in central southern Ohio. I'm going to put my own money in. Let's see how much money I can get. And I got, on the first round, $175,000. We bought three separate properties, 5 total rentals. And then after that, where's my hairline? It's gone. I don't have a hairline. My kids pulled it all out. If you get more expensive homes, I'll make more money. I probably will. Why double down on YouTube? Why not double down on YouTube? It's virtual real estate. The thing is with like YouTube, I mean, I'm at that point where I might double down, but it's why I really don't like gurus, because you see these gurus and it's like all the people that are on TLC, like the real estate shows, from a real estate investor's perspective, the moment they went on TLC is the moment they stopped knowing what to do, like good stuff, like how to really make money in real estate, how to run a good business. And they became these gurus or these people that were so detached from the business of real estate, and they start giving away this garbage advice. So I want to do both. I want to keep doing my real estate business. I would like to get down on the management aspect. I would really like to cut down on directly dealing with tenants. I don't want to stop doing that because I really have some awesome tenants. But I want to outsource some of the problem tenants. So do I give my investors a percentage of the rent or make set payments? It's usually set payments on everything. If I have to go and sell my properties, they get some back-side equity. Yeah, what's my required ROI? I won't buy anything unless it's over 14% as far as a cap rate goes. I probably would buy for less, but I just can't see that. What percentage of my tenants are late? Like the rent's due by the 5th of the month. I would say probably like 35%. Most of my rentals are cheap. If you get on my YouTube channel, you can see what one of my $300 a month places look like. I am so on the low end of the spectrum with a lot of what I have. How many properties do I own? I don't know how many properties I own. I have 140 rentals. Once we fill the park up with a trailer park up with trailers, we'll be at 140. I'm at 90. I don't even know where I'm at. I was at 93 before I bought the trailer park. I've got like 21 in there that are actually there. Well, I don't know. I've got 9 trailers sitting in an open grass field. 35% are late, yes, and those are my cheap rentals. My more higher end stuff, they're never late. They even are early. Do I consider myself a slumlord? No, not really. There's lots of people that do, and it's because there's just certain kinds of cheap properties you cannot make money on making them look great. So I make them look okay-ish. Like I said, there's a video on my channel of a $300 rental that I have. It's $300 a month, and I think it's a great place. I grew up in this dumpy house. I mean, it's not dumpy. It was nice for us, but the walls were paper thin. My brother and I had to sleep on the diesel furnace exhaust, the furnace vent. My brother and I slept. We would take our blankets and we would throw them on top of there so that we would retain the heat. And that's kind of my bar on where somebody at a minimum should live, or like, I miss those days sometimes. We had this big old wood burning stove that we had to supplement the diesel fuel heat in the house. So my deal is, and I tell everybody this: I will let you live in a house, or I will rent a house to you that is better than the house that I grew up in. Any of the houses I grew up in. Hold on, my best friend forever. Okay, sorry. My real estate buddy sent me a thing. How do you keep yourself safe when visiting my trailer parks? The sheriff guy said, don't worry about getting shot here. No one's going to shoot you here as long as you're not in late at night. How much do I make in a year cash flow of rental properties? I only pay myself, like as it stands right now, about $45,000 a year, which I know you guys are going to say, oh my gosh, he only pays himself $45,000 a year. But I kind of do the Dave Ramsey thing, or the financial minimalism thing, where I just don't, I don't pay myself much. I don't need much. My car works. That was such a struggle growing up. My parents had just cars that broke down constantly. I've got this glorious Kia Forte that's only 7 years old, and it only has 97,000 miles on it. And I just don't need to pay myself money. So all the money that's over $45,000, I put right back in the business, which is it's like $150,000. When am I getting a Tesla Model 3? I don't know. I love Teslas. Is my town low cost of living? Very much so. But Columbus, Ohio is becoming medium cost of living, and I live outside. What's up? Can I have a quarter from McDonald's? If you want a $2 bill, VR, Coca-Cola, send me a screenshot of your name to my Instagram, which is under Investment Joy. I will send you a $2 bill, as long as you live in the United States. Is my house paid off? No, it isn't. I owe $85,000 left on the mortgage. It's now worth $215,000. Once we build the garage, I don't have a garage. Our cars sit out in the snow and stuff. Once we get a garage, I think the house will be worth $300,000. Yes, I look like Shoe Nice. You're the 20th person to say. No, you're like the 200th person to say. Would you consider buying a franchise? I would love to buy a McDonald's. You have to have $1 million liquid to buy a McDonald's. You have to guarantee the McDonald's corporation that you will spend no less than $1 million on your building. To do those two things, you have to have tons of money. And a lot of the locations, my camera is getting out of focus. Multifamily, I've got the largest apartment complex I have is a sixplex. So snow, it's 70 and it's not snow now, silly, but it snows in the winter, and my poor wife has to go out and start the car. Technically, I do. I start the car for her. Do I ever accept Section 8? Yeah, I am one of the largest Section 8 landlords in my area. I like the Section 8 program. There's a lot of good tenants on Section 8. I've talked about her a couple times. I have a lady in one of my rentals that's been on Section 8 since 1979, however long that is. Have I put a gumball candy machine in yet? I don't have like a bulk candy vendor. I've got my big snack machine that has candy in it. Oh my gosh. I should buy a bunch of shops in a town of 1,500 and make myself mayor. I kid you not, somebody's done that here, and they voted themselves a $100,000 a year salary. What's my account? My Instagram is under Investment Joy. How many hours a week do I work? I work right at 40, maybe a little less. My policy is I go home at 6 o'clock to my family. I would make so much more money if I stayed at the office late, but I won't sacrifice my job and all this money and stuff for my kids and my family. So that's just kind of my thing. Would I invest in a distant market for better numbers? Yes, I would if I lived in a high cash flow area. And I'm going to tell you something that that's going to depress you. If I wanted to invest in a different area, let's say Central Ohio becomes extremely expensive, and I can no longer find deals anymore in here anymore, I would get a camper or something like that, and I would go drive to an area that I thought it had deals in it, and I would just set up shop there for like 6 months, and I would vet my property managers, my crew. I would dig into the market, and I would find out who is worth their salt in that area. I really don't trust people. I really don't trust people. I've had friends and family and people I love steal from me, and if people that I like in my personal life and I've trust in my personal life steal money from me, how much easier is it to get somebody to steal money from me that I've never met before? I had a guy rob me of like $40,000. So do I focus on suburbs or properties in the city proper too? I live outside Columbus, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio is a metropolitan area with about 1 million people in it. And I'm like 20 miles outside of Columbus, and it's a situation where I like my areas because this is good. The free laundromat concept. You have to explain to me what the free laundromat concept is, whether that's getting 100% loan on the property where you have no cash out of pocket, or there's a government subsidized laundromat idea where the government comes in and pays for everything. Columbus is huge, has huge potential. I like Columbus. I just don't like some of the political stuff that goes up there. If you have $15,000 and you live in California, how should you invest? You should just be buying like real broad market ETFs. It's going to be the most boring thing that anybody's going to tell you, but it works so well till you can find something to really invest in that's high profit. ETFs, you can't go wrong. I've got trust accounts for each one of my kids, and they're all in Vanguard ETFs. And if 20 years from now, maybe it'll be worth something. All right, I'm mentoring people. Yeah, I've got a couple people I mentor in real life personally. I always recommend that people get a mentor. One of the other questions was, should you join REIA? Absolutely. I'm the president of the Scioto Valley Real Estate Investor Association. I love our Real Estate Investor Association. I've made so much money networking and talking to people. I mentor people. People mentor me. You would be shocked at how many extremely wealthy people there are out there that just want to spend time with people and share their knowledge and for free. I don't have any Airbnb yet. I am going to shoot an episode here or a series on YouTube where we're going to convert one of our rentals into Airbnb. I finance however I can get the money. I've got some 30s. I've got mostly 20-year mortgages. Oh, what's my ultimate goal and purpose in life? It's to help people. I really don't have, I say 500, but if I could see myself getting more than 500 properties. I just like the idea, if you read about economics, you would see that money is a metric by what the economy rewards you. And just because you're worth X amount of dollars, $50 an hour, that doesn't mean that your worth as a human being is only $50 an hour. It's just that's the value you bring to the table when it comes to economics. And my ultimate goal is to try and help people live a better life than they already live today. I meet all these people that have, I go to church with a husband and wife, and they're both former heroin addicts. And they have just completely turned their lives around. They lost all their children to the foster care system, and they have clawed their way back over the past 5 years to be productive members of society. And I would love to be in a position in life where I can go in and find people like that and really, really help them. They have really done a great job with their life. And I just see some people out there. When I say see some people, I meet like 1 or 2 a week. I would just love to reach in and grab it and say, hey, here's a free house. And I can do that now, but the problem is I'm not good at it. I have given free houses to people. If you go on my YouTube channel, you'll see where I gave somebody a house to live in, and they cooked meth in the kitchen. And it just, it's terrible. I don't do any room rentals just yet. Halfway houses, I've talked to somebody the past 2 weeks about doing drug recovery, halfway house. It's hard to find the right property for that. You essentially need a big house with lots of bedrooms, and it needs to be set up right. So you need a house. Everybody needs a house. Have you heard me talk about being homeless before? Because I was there a long time ago. Kind people by nature don't value anything. People kind of nature but don't value things given to them for free. Yeah, that's the thing. When you give somebody something for free, it tends to be devalued. That's why I worry about this YouTube stuff, because you guys aren't really paying for anything. The advice is free, and I hear a lot of people that say it's worth what you pay for. So do I need a vacation? I don't know. I like working way too much. I enjoy my job. I get value of going into work. You run into people that they have the Mondays. They hate working on Monday. I love going in. Any advice on finding a mentor? The problem is with society right now is we've become so disconnected because of social media. You can get on social media and you can say, oh, I'm connected to these people, but you're not really connected. And I would find some sort of local civic group. Tell us a story about a rich investor. I'm getting out of line. All right, I'm completely off of track with that one. Go find mentors by joining local civics groups. I have people that hate Masons. I don't know if I can talk about this on YouTube, but I've got a friend that's got a lot of value by joining the Masons. I'm not saying go do that, but something like that. And they've started getting mentored by older people in their community. And you'll be shocked to find that there's lots of people that do want to mentor you. They are out there. They're just in places that you would really not expect in your area. I find them everywhere. My first mentor was the former CEO of an oil company, the largest oil company outside Columbus, Ohio, south of Columbus. The company was worth over $50 million. And the amount of time he personally spent with me was phenomenal. And really, after it's all said and done, he just wanted to share his life with somebody. And he changed the way that I thought about money and viewed wealth. It just blew my mind. He was and is probably one of the most generous human beings I've ever met. He told me one year for Christmas, he said, my wife and I finally decided what we're doing for Christmas. I said, oh, cool. What does a multimillionaire do for Christmas? And he said, we've decided we're going to pick 50 kids and we're going to give them scholarships to private school. And the private school is $5,000 a year. So him and his wife decided they're going to give 50 grand away in scholarships to kids to go to local private school. And I said, so what are you and your wife actually doing? And so we're going to go up to Columbus to some fancy restaurant. So are pets an investment you support? I don't understand how a pet's an investment. So I'm obsessed with money. I don't understand. I love my kids. My kids are the most important thing to me. That's why I go home at 6 o'clock every day. I'm not obsessed with money. It's just that money can do a lot of good things. Money, there's a quote that everybody says that's money's the root of all evil, which is an accurate quote. The love of money is the root of all evil. Money, and it's like a guy at my church says that money is a wonderful slave but a terrible master. If money controls you, your life's going to be miserable. If you control money, your life's going to be pretty good. See, I'm missing so many of the troll comments. I know I need to delete them. Who opens and closes my laundromats? My nephew does. What type of property has the highest cap rate? Seller finance multifamily. I've got some properties that are over 100%. It's crazy. I like my wife way better than my kids. I like my wife a little more than my kids, and my kids are so wonderful. I love my kids. They're great. Would you take live calls? I would like to do that sometime. When's the next giveaway? I don't know. Was poor motivation to be rich? Absolutely. I just didn't like the fact that my parents were living paycheck to paycheck. The times that we were evicted, it was not because they did not pay their rent. But I remember so many times that my grandma or my grandpa had to come over to the house to give my parents rent money so they could pay the rent. And that just was scary to me that that we could be out on the street. If you guys are trying to get a message to me, YouTube sucks. on sending messages. They try to force you into super chat, which you really shouldn't be paying money to do super chat. So you shouldn't be paying for super chat. So if you need to get a message to me, go on Instagram, in Instagram/investmentjoy. If I had 20K as an early investor, I would just put in ETFs. Paycheck to paycheck. If that's where you find yourself, you need to get listening to Dave Ramsey. Would you advise still working a 9 to 5 while having rental properties? No, working a 9 to 5 job's not a bad deal. I worked a 9 to 5 and did real estate as an agent, and it provided a nice cushion. So that's nice. What's my recommended washing machine for a laundromat? I don't know. There's a lot of good ones. ETF, electronic fund, traded fund. It's like a mutual fund, but the cost is so much lower. So. I don't plan on cash out refinancing anything to go invest in something else. Do I have a 401k? I've got a self-managed self-directed Roth IRA. Do I make money from YouTube? I make a lot of money from YouTube, or at least I did. There's numbers on my screen that say I do. I haven't got a check yet. So you open up an Ameritrade account or like a Robinhood account, or you open up some sort of investment account. And then exchange traded funds, Bozo. Yes, you're right. Exchange traded funds. My IQ level goes down a lot when I turn on the camera. Yeah, I'm in Vanguard on my kids' stocks. I don't know why you watch my videos. I'm very happy. My wife is gorgeous to me. I'm in Central Ohio. My laundromats are all in Central Ohio. Have I ever purchased a haunted property? I have had a tenant call me very recently, and they sent me a message on Facebook, and they said, just to let you know, Brandon, there's a ghost in the house. And I said, oh, okay. Does that mean do I need to call a priest or something to have it exorcised? They said, oh no, I just wanted to let you know that there's a ghost in the property. Just wanted to let you know. I really don't understand why someone would call me and talk to me about that. It's like, do you do you want me to do something about it? Do you want me to come meet the friendly ghost, the not friendly ghost, or what? Was it a raccoon? I don't think so. Minimum ROI target 14%, but that's Ohio. So you have 50K in your bank account. I'm big on ETFs, like I said. Ghostbusters, I'm a dope landlord. I hope that means positive landlord, not the other thing. How much do I make a weekly in one laundromat? I haven't broken down. Do I believe in vampires? I believe in Vlad the Impaler. What made me start YouTube? I think I have a very interesting life. I get into all these crazy situations. Like, my life is a mix between Trailer Park Boys and an episode of Cops. And people love those shows. And I find that that's just all I do. I'm just going from one crazy situation to another. I was like, I should record this. At least maybe I'll make some money off of it in the future, because otherwise, if I can't make the stuff positive, I will get depressed. What do I think happens in a black hole? I don't know. I wonder sometimes if a black hole is the creation of a new universe. What would I do with a grand? ETFs. Want to pay myself and get a Lambo. I have no interest in owning a Lambo. Do I live in the paranormal? Yeah, kind of. What time do I start my day? Whenever I wake up, usually around 8 o'clock. How do you invest in a company like Coke or a bank? You open up a investment account like something like Ameritrade. How long have I been doing YouTube? 2 years. I like silver. I really do like silver, but it's a hard investment. I'm going to moderate. I'm going to go up to an hour, I think, guys. So that'll be 8 more minutes. Do I play Fortnite? No, I play PUBG once in a while. I just don't get a game as much as I used to. Why did I get into vending machines? Because I think a lot of people always have the fantasy of owning some vending machines or doing something like that. Most people fantasize about like a car wash, a laundromat, vending machines, things like that. And as time goes on, I find out if you really are passionate about that and you really put up a plan, you can get that stuff. I could get a Lambo if I really wanted, but I just don't see the point. How many evictions do I average a month? It's less than one. I think I'll have 6 evictions this whole entire year, which isn't too bad to me. So, how many times have I caught squatters? I'm at 3 separate times I've caught squatters. One at the trailer park, then another one at one of my absolute nicest properties. It was the old insurance office that was built pre-Civil War. Someone put a index card on the door of a vacant rental. I was like, why is there an index card on here with somebody's name? Find out they were trying to set up residency in the place so that I would have to go through a legal eviction. But I caught the postcard on the rental so quick that they weren't able to set up residency, and I just was able to legally throw them out. I don't gamble. I've done it once with a Dogecoin. If you guys know about Bitcoin, there's a alternative coin called Dogecoin, and they're worth fractions of a penny. And there's this guaranteed and gambling strategy. It's a fool's bet called a martingale, and there were these gambling websites where you could bet your Dogecoin and run simulations on betting. So you'll trade me a war nickel for a $2 bill. Yeah, send me a screenshot of that comment on Instagram. I will trade you a $2 bill for your war nickel. And that's not because I don't know the value of a war nickel. I just like war nickels. When am I getting a property manager? Any day now. I'm getting tired of dealing with stuff. Dogecoin is a meme coin. Used to trade it. I still have Dogecoin somewhere. I don't know where. I've got XRP on one exchange. I can't remember. I've got Litecoin on another. I've had people, someone's asked me several times, do I gamble? The only thing I have is some altcoins. I guess that's kind of like gambling, huh? When did I start investing in real estate? I guess when I was 26. When did I quit my 9-to-5 job? I quit my 9-to-5 job when I was 21. Would you invest student loans to invest in real estate? That's a too complicated question. It's going to vary from person to person. You don't have to pay off your student loans to do it, but I really like the idea of house hacking, which is where you buy a house bigger than you actually need and you subdivide it into multiple smaller rental units, or you buy like a quadplex, a house with 4 separate rental units in it, and then you rent out those rooms or those rental units to other people and you make money off their rent. The thing is, FHA will actually let you get a loan with only 3.5% down to do that. So that'd be cool. Do I handle all repairs? No, I don't. Why don't I like Fortnite? I haven't played Fortnite. I know it's like PUBG. Do I like what I do? I very much like what I do. If I didn't, I would, I'd quit. I really like what I do. I just hate dealing with people sometimes. How long have I been doing the vending machine stuff? Since May or June, I want to say. How does seller financing work? Is there a lien on the property? Who has controlling interest? That varies so much between deal to deal to deal. In a situation like a purchase money mortgage, the seller of the property is essentially a bank, and there's actually a lien against the property. Usually the seller's in the first lien position. You have controlling interest, but that's not the only way that you can do a seller finance deal. I've got some master lease with options where essentially I am a tenant in the property with unlimited rights as far as leasing the property goes. Then I have a thing called an option, which means that I can purchase the property at any given time for a set amount of money. But in my options, the option price is exactly what the mortgage payoff is. So what was the first property I bought investment-wise? As a 6-bed, 2-bath for $22,500. Do I encourage innovative ideas? It depends on what the innovative idea is. There's innovative ideas out there that are absolutely wonderful. They're amazing, like Elon Musk is putting satellites in orbit to give global internet. That's an innovative idea. I talk to people that have these terrible ideas and they think they're innovative and that they're going to make money off of them. And the thing I find out is you get more in business, It's easier to tell what's going to work and what's not going to work. Knowledge in business is a one-way street, so you really have to get to the point that you're just willing to learn. You know, I would love to watch more TV, but I just don't have time. So we've got a minute and a half left. Why Ohio? I like Ohio. Ohio sucks. You suck. Is that too mean? Who's Warren Gates? Hello, sir. Nice hat. Ever thought of e-commerce? What books do I read on business? Rich Dad, Poor Dad's pretty good. Richest Man on Babylon. Am I going to grow up to 400K subs? I don't know. Make sure you like all my videos and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow me on Instagram at InvestmentJoy. That would be cool. What made me decide sell my web design company? That's a much more in-depth. I just hated the hustle. I had to churn clients like crazy. Do I like Grant Cardone? I absolutely do not. I feel that he is selling people a lot of things that aren't right. I've had a kind of I've been on. Oh, I'll go back to Grant Cardone here in a second. I should be on Bigger Pockets. I've been on Bigger Pockets since 2009. Ben Mala's great. I love Ben because he reminds me of a half dozen real estate investors that I know in my area. Going back to Grant Cardone, I've had this long argument with a kid that lives really close to where I live. I know him personally, and he follows Grant Cardone, and he essentially called me an idiot because I buy a bunch of small houses, like single family, detached. I buy a lot of duplexes, stuff like that. And he said more or less to me, you're stupid because you don't buy big multifamily places. And I said, look, I invited this kid to my laundromat. I invited him to see some of my vacant rental properties and show them how, what the property works. I'm like, you really would listen to a guy like that would tell you that anybody's stupid that only buys small houses and stuff? Would I invest in the cannabis industry? No, I won't. Do I manage my own properties? Yes, I do. Listen to Money Matters podcast. I'm not sure who has that. Someone asked if I like Meet Kevin. I like Meet Kevin, but he just seems like he's way too caffeinated. Does picking up cash ever feel awkward? No, it doesn't. I love it. What major should be the most considered of the economy right now? I don't know. Probably accountant. I'm going to play the guitar for you at some point. No, I'm not. Which way do I lean politically? You ready for a really complicated answer? I am a right-leaning moderate libertarian. And that is not a good thing to be because I make everybody mad. I can't have a political conversation with anybody. You're sick of real estate speculators like they add value to the economy. I'm not a fan of flipping for the most part because there's so many people that flip houses and they don't know what they're doing. They don't actually add any value to the house. They're putting a lot of people do something I call putting lipstick on a pig. The underlying house sucks, but they put carpet and paint in it. And the issues with that house are going to cause problems down the road. That's why I only buy rentals. It's in my best interest to make the properties as nice as they can be while being profitable and lasting a long time. I really try to put value into my properties. I have saved quite a few houses from being bulldozed. I bought a train station. If you've ever played Monopoly, you remember B&O Railroad. I bought their old train station where I live, and it was very much in danger of being tore down. It was so dilapidated and damaged, and the roof was leaking, and just problem after problem. And I bought it for like next to nothing, and it's fixed up. You can see that on my YouTube channel. Thank you. I'm glad that I am your hero, gamer. You are my hero. Grant has 1 million subs and only 20K views. That's because of the way that YouTube sends out Grant's videos. I really like Grant. Sorry, Grant. I'm thinking Graham Stephan. So I like Graham Stephan. He's great. How are things going now with the laundromat? They're going good. It's like any business. You start off and you probably won't make any money, and it takes time to build up business. And out of all the YouTube videos that I had on YouTube that went viral, I don't know that would be my favorite one. Bigger Pockets podcast, I do like that. Why don't I buy a big complex? I just don't like the idea, and they're not around here. I can't buy a big apartment complex in my area to save my life, and I could either have 100 houses or I could have half of one big apartment complex, and to me, I'll take 100 houses. Card system or stay coin op, I would like a hybrid system. I love the idea of card powered washing and drying machines, but that system's $500 per machine. It's 15 grand to convert my system. I would rather tear everything out and go all new. Are you going to get a Rolex? I don't like watches. I know some rich people that are big on watches and stuff. I don't see the point. My like biggest thing that I would love someday is the new or whatever would be existent at that time. I love the Apple Watch and I love the Samsung Watch because they do heart rate monitors and things like that. What Bigger Pockets podcast? I wasn't on the Bigger Pockets podcast. I was in their newsletter, and it was kind of my rags to riches story. But that was probably a year ago. I outsource almost all the rehab work on my properties. I do like I do painting and stuff like that. Apple products. I don't like Apple products, but the Apple Watch is fantastic. It is really fantastic. The cheap smartwatches from China, they do heart rate, but they just don't. They're just not near as good as Apple or Samsung. How do I start a business like yours? Which business? The laundromat. I also own a newspaper, which is kind of weird. Laundromat. It's just research. There's so much free information out there. What other states do you think are good real estate markets like Ohio, and would you invest out of state? I would not invest out of the United States. Pretty much all the Midwest is pretty cool. Why a newspaper? I'm really big on local politics, like not local politics stuff, but local news. A lot of people don't know what's going on in their local marketplace and what's going on, the things that affect them in your area. And because of that, I wanted to start a news service that would bring millennials and Gen Zs into sync with what's going on. Like, I want to shy away from politics as much as possible, but more people care about what's going on, like with the presidency and stuff, than they do with what's going on with local mayors, county commissioners, and things like that. And I find that county commissioners and mayors have a lot of power over your life. We've got very good county commissioners where I live, and they convinced Amazon to come and build a new factory, and it's going to be 500 jobs. It's going to produce an extra $1 million in tax revenue in my county. It's a huge, big thing, and nobody knew about it. And like I said, Gen Z is very detached from that, but Gen Z is also one of the most well-informed generations to ever exist. So it's like, if I could figure out a way to provide news or information to people in my place about what's going on and how they can work at it, I think it'd be positive. Could I manage the laundromat with a 9-to-5 job? Yeah, I'm down to 1 hour a week running it. So your State Farm for that contract in Los Angeles, guys, yes. Would you run for a local office? I'm already hated as a landlord. I mean, if you look through the chat, I've already been called a slumlord and a leech and all these terrible things. If I run for office, depending on which letter I put next to my name, a certain percentage of the people in my county will hate me automatically. So Scott's Thoughts channel. Hey there, Investment Joy. Who is Scott's Thoughts? When did you start the laundromat business? Officially in the second week of July. Amazon's building everywhere. Why do they hate you? I mean, I could spend an hour talking about why people hate me. I like Bigger Pockets for books. Richest Man Babylon, Rich Dad Poor Dad. Graham Stephan has a Discord I really like. I like the Graham Stephan show. I like the Dave Ramsey show. Meet Kevin's okay. Marco Whiteboard Finance. He's pretty good. What's a newspaper? When I say newspaper, I mean a digital newspaper. We have made physical newspapers, and physical newspapers suck. Does the laundromat have Wi-Fi? We have fiber at the laundromat, and as it stands right now, I do not have a router that's fast enough for it, which is kind of cool. Your number 200, yay. How much do I make a week? I don't know. I don't pay myself too much, really too much. I just try to live on a minimum budget. Do I deal with bed bugs all the time? I don't know that I can talk about bed bugs too much. How does it have fiber in the middle of nowhere? President Obama signed this something called the Rural Broadband Initiative, and they gave the local ISP about $150 million to run fiber all over southern Ohio. They ran it from Columbus down to Portsmouth, and they branched it all over in areas. And it just happens that a very nice fiber trunk runs relatively close to the laundromat. So both my office near the laundromat and where I'm sitting right now, I've got the capability for getting 20 meg or 20 gig up, 20 gig down, which is crazy. Can I remember a brokerage account for ETFs? I like Ameritrade, but anymore, they're all so good. Are my mom and dad proud of me for helping so much? My mom very much is. My dad did pass away in 2017. And I've talked about that in the channel a good bit, so I don't know that I'll go into a lot of detail about his death, which, you know, don't give me your sympathy, but he was very proud of me up until, I mean, that was kind of his last words to me, was that he was proud of me and he was proud of my brother, and he knew that my brother and I would take real good care of our mom. So I blew past the hour limit. Yes, I did. How much was laundromat? 85 grand. The seller financed 70 grand, put down 15. Farthest property from my house, it's probably the trailer park, and it's only like 45 minutes, if that. Houses, trailer, laundromat, newspaper, what else? Car wash. How do I start investing? It's complicated, but I saved up some money, figured out how to get investment money from other people, and then I just kind of went off from that. I like businesses and rental properties are both good things. The big thing is finding an opportunity in your marketplace, and there's opportunities out there everywhere. I met somebody. Well, didn't meet somebody. I looked at their financial report. They're making $2.9 million a year off one laundromat, and it's 1,000 square foot laundromat in New York City. It's the same size as my laundromat that had all the empty coin boxes in it. $2.9 million. It's crazy. Do I have a real estate license? Yes, I do. I'm licensed in the state of Ohio. I'm actually with one of the largest brokers. Yeah, my channel growth is insane. I'm very thankful for all you. And so I wanted to do the live stream to just kind of say thank you to you guys. Everybody I see is trying to sell their car wash. There's a lot of car washes that aren't profitable. But I also see a lot of laundromats that aren't profitable too. And the laundromats that I bought were unprofitable as well. And it's just, there's a lot. 300 subs of the stream, yay, that's cool. How much I spent on water and light? Water's about 400, light's about 450. I heard Ohio, where in Ohio? I live 20 miles south of Columbus. They didn't have vending machines. They had dumpy vending machines that were broken all the time. Deli shop, I have looked at buying a deli shop. I almost bought a local beer carry-out / deli instead of the laundromat. And I talked to that guy. I tried to get him to convince me to give him, I try and talk him into giving me his current financials, because I kind of wonder sometimes if I should have bought the deli. I've kind of got this idea of putting a deli in the laundromat. Can I make a video on starting a laundromat? I will. I've got so many requests for that. Graham Steffen, the man with what's it like owning 100 rentals, I think. I'm going to plug my Instagram at Investment Joy again. Instagram.com/Investment Joy. Oh, cool. I've got a lot more followers from this, so that's cool. I don't do my own handyman. For the appliances, my brother does them. He fixes them. You live in Toledo, like 2-hour drive. Yeah, I'm sorry, but you're not going to drive to me anyway. I've asked 3 people where I live to spend a day with me, going around looking at properties and just hanging out, and they've all turned me down. So, I mean, you're not going to drive. Let's be honest. Making tacos at laundromat, and they were the best apparently. I could see that working out so well. I want to do a automated deli. There's this lady that I know that makes chicken salad sandwiches, and they're like the best in the world. And I want to figure out a way to get a vending machine that sells those sandwiches. Cigarette vending machines for the laundromat. I've had a lot of people ask about those. And the state of Ohio says you can do them if you have a card swipe. But I am very anti-smoking. I'm not a huge fan of vaping, but I guess if you'd have to do one or the two, I would prefer vaping. But I find that smoking cigarettes is the quickest way just about to lose money. I've never met a wealthy person that smokes. Well, no, I take that back. I know one person wealthy that smokes. Everybody that I know that's wealthy does not smoke. And it's like having a habit where you are leaking $3,000 to $5,000 a year, and you could invest money in something. You could be rich almost by not smoking. Ben Mala smokes. Okay, I don't know him, but he's one of the few investors that out there that do funding private investment. But the seller carried almost all of it. How many washers do you think you've opened? I don't understand. Like the money from them or what? Never go wrong with a laundromat. Doesn't matter. Economy's bad. Yeah, food adds a whole new drama. Take from a restaurant GM. I'm talking specifically about something I can keep hands off. Do you send me the $2 bill or PayPal me? It's a $2 bill. It's a physical $2 bill. I can't email or PayPal a $2 bill. And all the appeal of a $2 bill is not in the money value, it's the artwork. Have you guys ever looked at the back of a $2 bill? Ow, it's out of focus. The artwork, it's the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To me, it has the absolute best artwork on the face of this planet. I love it. What would I do if Uber got into the laundromat business? I don't think I would do anything. Uber is looking at partnering with laundromats for delivery, which I would do that. I don't know. If a recession happens, it happens. My brother's rentals were packed during the last recession. Calling 2 laundromats, see if they'll sell. Yeah, the problem is you just got to be persistent. If you really want something in life, you need to be persistent. Do you think $1,000 investment's enough to start investing? $100 is enough to start investing. It's really one of those things where you've got to be persistent. Start putting money in an account on a regular basis. And any more ETFs are so easy to get into. Like, just look for Vanguard. It's hard to go wrong with Vanguard. And even, $100, just find something. It's better than doing nothing and just putting it in a bank account. You guys remember about Covenant House in your state? I don't know. I would have to Google that. Aged out of foster care and help teach them life skills and such. I think someone I know is involved in that. If you're talking about age out foster kids, what can I invest with $100? You should be able to find a Vanguard ETF or some sort of fund on Ameritrade or something like that for $100 or even less. I mean, Robinhood has some. I really don't like buying individual stocks, but I guess you could do that. Would I buy a car wash in Wisconsin? I have no clue about Wisconsin. Any tips? I don't know. Try to learn all you can. Who made your money? You made money on your own as a kid? Yeah. My brother and I actually ran an online paintball store way back in the day, in the days that you could sell stuff on eBay and make a lot of money. And we did terrible at it. We lost so much money, but I learned about business. It's one of those things I like to go back and think, if I knew how to run Excel and how to do accounting, I would have made 10 times more. I would have actually made money. How's the mobile home park going? Churn the non-payers. I think a couple have just left. Yeah, Lex Get Real says like the video. Anytime you see my videos, please consider liking them, because it screws with the Facebook, the YouTube algorithm, and it sends my video out to more people. I make more money, and essentially, I will give you guys every bit of advice and help that I can if the YouTube channel continues to be worth my time. I mean, I want to help people, but I do have a limited number of hours to allocate and help people. Oh my gosh, it's almost midnight. $500 to make with quick money. There's no good quick money out there. If there's something that you can make quick money on, it's probably illegal, if you know what I mean. So the thing you have to really be careful about is finding something that's short money. If you want to go and make a bunch of money short term, borrow somebody's truck and haul people's trash. I know that sounds stupid. I know people that make $1,000 a day hauling people's trash. But you're going to get dirty. It's going to be a lot of work, which, I mean, if you want quick money, that's what it is. You're going to work your butt off. Where do I live? I live 20 miles south of Columbus, Ohio. Are my kids and wife liking my channel growth? My wife does not care one bit. My kids don't really understand it. I teach a class every Monday, and when I walked into the class today, I had 3 kids say, "Your channel's going so well. You have almost 30,000 subs. I can't believe it." So my kids don't care. My wife doesn't care, but kids I teach care. So how do I navigate the tax code? I have a CPA. Advice investing for teenager ETFs. Network marketing. My concern or my problem with network marketing is a lot of times people get into something and they don't learn the basics. They don't learn how to correctly market. They don't learn how to do accounting. They don't know how to do a lot of the basic business things that you should. And they buy into a course or they buy into a system. And I don't want to bash the systems that are out there. You know, a very good friend of mine sold Advocare for quite some time. And if you know anything about Advocare, their CEO essentially closed up shop, or they kicked out all the distributors, and he essentially lost a 6-figure income overnight because of somebody else's misdeeds. And he's really having a hard time adjusting. He's doing a good job adjusting to doing something else, but I find that people like him lost or lack a lot of the basic skills for running a business. If I lost the laundromats tomorrow, I could start another business. If I lost my rentals, I could do a different business. Yeah, from 55K subs to 30K subs, it blows my mind. How do you find a good CPA? You get referrals from people who are richer than you. Do I have any special kind of insurance on rental properties? I've got some good. I've got something called EMC insurance. They write a corporate policy, and then for each rental that I have on top of that, they just charge me a flat fee. What do I teach? This year, I am teaching a class on the history of capitalism and the history of socialism. It's called Capitalism versus Socialism. And then I've got another class I'm teaching on the Vietnam War. I do a fall semester and a spring semester, and each year I get to pick 2 topics to do an hour class on. And that's what it is. It would be an auto car wash. I've got a location picked out. I'd like to do a car wash and a laundromat. Yeah, flipping cars can be very lucrative. But like you said, at least in the state of Ohio, you can only flip 5 cars. How many rentals do I own? 140. What do I teach? My kids' homeschool co-op. We have one of the largest homeschool co-ops, which means all the homeschool kids get together and they attend classes, and we're one of the largest in Southern Ohio. Where can you invest in except stocks? You could invest in precious metals. Finding anything physical to invest that you can get undervalued is good. Why do you get in the laundromat business? I got into the laundromat business because I was angry. I am not checking any Instagram messages while I am doing this live stream. No one wants to see me click on a computer or close the live stream down so I can answer a message. It's 140 units. Do I own any Bitcoin? Yes, I do. I have Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ripple. Yeah, there's 2 or 3 big YouTube channels with vending machines. LLC or S Corps, everything I have is LLCs. Are there any anti-vax people in homeschool co-op? They're split 50-50. Half are anti-vax, half. The other half are extremely pro-vax, and we get along just fine because we love each other. I have not had anybody break into a laundry machine as it stands yet. It's all the quarter pusher. Would I buy in Gary, Indiana? I probably would. Yes, I'm live. I can't believe it either. Low VAR Lockland. I'm gonna say, is Apple goodbye? I don't know. I don't like individual stocks. Your uncle's a Vietnam vet. He was in the search for rescue for downed aircraft. My dad was in the northernmost artillery fire base in Vietnam called the Rock Pile. Have any tenants or customers referenced my channel? I'd have to think about that. My maintenance crew, the son of one of my guys on my maintenance crew messaged me 2 nights ago, and he's like, "Holy crap, you broke 20K. How much BTC do I have?" I will not answer that. How much do I net from all my rental properties? That's hard. I explained that earlier in the live stream. How many units per LLC? It matters. They're not based on units. It's based on kind of the purpose. A drive-in movie theater. I would love a drive-in movie theater. My news company's actually worked with the local drive-in movie theater. They went to digital HD here a while back, and their cost was either 50K or 250K to get the equipment, but they did it. It's called the Skyview drive-through in Lancaster, Ohio, and it is so awesome. Oh my gosh. How are we still at 233 watches? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm putting you in timeout, asking if Apple's a good buy now or not. I did answer your question on whether Apple is a good buy or not. I answered it by saying I don't like buying individual stocks. I like ETFs because your risk is very much spread out. Because Apple could go down 50% tomorrow and you would lose all your money. The stock market very likely is not going to go down 50%. Homeschool co-op, yes, I do. Am I enjoying live streaming? I don't know. Are you guys enjoying the live stream? If you guys are enjoying the live stream, then I'm enjoying the live stream. More than anything, I'm interested in just connecting with you guys because I'm very appreciative of you guys viewing my YouTube channel because you guys are watching ads. I'm making money off of you. And I feel like I should be, thankful and connect with you guys. So then, of course, maybe get some likes and subscribes and everything like that. So soothing listening to me. Someone said my voice is like, is soothing like Shoe Nice. But I watched some Shoe Nice videos. I don't think I've ever watched this stuff before, and it was very odd. Security company is a good idea. Yes, it is. I would go with a security company. Security company is a wonderful idea because it involves your hands, and there's such a lack of people willing to work with their hands, plumbers, electricians, things like that. Real estate investor or licensee. I am both. How much I spend on my engagement ring. My wife's engagement ring was $300. My wedding band here, I think, was $200, not $2,000, or $2. How many LLCs do I have? I have 8, Whitney. Yes, my channel's growing so much. I am so thankful. I am not Shoe Nice's brother. At least I am not aware that I am his brother. He could be related to me, and I just don't know it. Do I smoke marijuana? Absolutely not. I have never smoked a cigarette in my life. I do not. I also do not really ever drink alcohol. It's not that I don't believe. It's not that I believe that you shouldn't be drinking alcohol. It's just I find myself in these situations with these crazy tenants. I've been in a meth lab. I've had to clean up a dead body. I've done all these crazy things. And it's like, I don't want to be inhibited in any of these situations with alcohol. So 100K subs by the end of the year. I would love that. Do I personal investment training? I don't know. I don't do any one-on-one coaching or anything like that. Do I dip? No, I don't consume any alcohol or any tobacco products. I never have consumed any tobacco products. You think you'll get more coin pushers or one of my own? Absolutely. On my other laundromats, I will put in many. I have to pay income tax on all revenue, not profit. Yes and no. I mean, it's taxes are complicated. I try to understand them. Okay, uppercase G. What other channel mentioned me? Because I've only had shout outs from like 1 or 2. Am I pro Second Amendment? Absolutely. It'd be hard to be anti-Second Amendment and walk through my trailer park. Put a claw machine in the laundromat. I talked about that earlier. I would love to. $200 be good to invest in ETFs. Open up a free brokerage account. Tell us about the body. What body? Worst tenant story. My brother's church referred somebody to me that had gone through a drug counseling program, paid for their rent. They moved into the rental. They stole utilities off me, over $4,000. I guess maybe this is the worst. I just hate it. We had to go through an eviction. The bailiff showed up. I showed up. We caught them, the fact that they were cooking meth in the kitchen, and the body had to clean up. The body cleanup thing was real complicated, but it wasn't as depressing as the meth lab because The meth lab situation broke my heart. The body clean out thing, people die. Constructive eviction. It was an actual eviction. They owed me a bunch of money. They stopped paying rent because they became addicts again. They started inviting their friends over to come cooking, and it was just a disaster. Trailer park in a Rivian R1T. If you will send me a Rivian, I will drive it to the trailer park. I really like Rivians, but how do I kick my tenants that don't pay? I go through a legal eviction. Sometimes I pay them to leave. If I can pay somebody to leave, I will. How do I find the laundromat property? I just know everybody in my town. It's crazy. Is it my goal to buy out investors? I want to buy them down. I don't know that I want to buy them out. I've got a good at least I think I've got a good relationship with all my investors. All my investors are really interesting people. They're really cool. I've mentioned on the channel before, the landlord that evicted us when I was 6 years old is now one of my investors. And him and I have a great relationship. And even with the fact I pay him money, I like having him on board because he gives me good advice. I don't know that I would call him a mentor, but he gives me good advice. He's the one that has told me time and time again, Brandon, control the keys at your laundromat because you're the only one that'll care about the money in those coin boxes. You're the only one that will care as much about them. Don't outsource that to somebody. Do I worry about an investor watching this? I don't. I've asked that. Well, number one of my investors is watching it because he sent me a message about buying a car. When I said earlier in the live stream that I wanted to buy a car wash, he said that I'm not allowed to buy one for myself, that he has to buy it with me. And I will respect that because we'll just buy two car washes. Man, I miss these questions. Taxes, should I hire CPA? You file your own. I would say I would hire a CPA to look over your taxes. I like the idea of tax professionals. I've got such a good CPA. He owns like 30 rentals in my town. He's very knowledgeable about tax code. And I find that the money that I pay him to be my CPA is so worth it. Oh my gosh. If you're comfortable with answering what kind of Glock do I carry a 4th gen. I own all the G17 gens. I only own a Gen 2 and a Gen 4 G719. When we talk about investments that I have, I'll leave it at that. Was I in debt when starting my laundromat business? Oh yeah. I'm still in tons of debt, but it's good debt. If Dave Ramsey asks any of you, tell him I'm in good debt. You want to invest, what we suggest? ETFs, invest in ETFs. Those are just so easy to put your money in, and they do very well. I'm not big on investing in all this other, I should get a moderator. I answered that question, Sebastian. Why not rekey them all the same key? Because rekeying all those boxes at the laundromat's going to be $50 per one. I've got 18 washers, 8 dryers. That's 26 pieces of equipment at $50 a piece. That's a lot of money. Is Bubbles my favorite character? I love Bubbles. Yeah, he is my absolute favorite character. If I could see with Coke bottle glasses on, I would do some YouTube videos with Coke bottle glasses. Outside look for the laundromat. I kind of like the outside look of the laundromat. The inside's what needs rehabbed. Rivals in the rental property business or laundromat business. I definitely have rivals in the laundromat business. The funny thing is though, in rentals, all of the landlords in my town are very good friends. Because it's like we're all dealing with the same kind of terrible, awful things together. And we really try to help each other out because it makes so much easier. That's not to say that every landlord, did I say that? Not every landlord works with me and my friends that are other landlords, but the landlords that don't get along with me are the ones that I don't think should be landlords ever. I've got, I know that there's such a friction between tenants and landlords, but the thing that I see is They're the landlords that are terrible. I would love to force them out of the market, and eventually I will. I think me and my buddy Sean will eventually run them out of town, just because they're awful. How do I fix washers and dryers? I really don't. My brother does. Do I have a tenant blacklist? The state of Ohio says you cannot maintain I can't maintain a blacklist. What we do is I maintain something called a tenant referral system. And with the tenant referral system, if I have a good tenant or even an okay tenant, I put them on this list and I say, hey, I've had this tenant in this rental, they pay on time, they're good. If you see this name come across your desk as a tenant, I give them a personal referral. I think they're good. If you have any questions, give me a call. Then there's other people that say, hey, this person took an X-Acto knife and tore out drywall. They didn't maintain their utilities and caused all these problems. So then they get in the referral network too. So we don't run a blacklist. We don't run a whitelist. We just run a referral system to try and weed out bad tenants, because the thing is, bad tenants cost my company money. If my company has to pay more money out for repairs and stuff, then I have my good tenant. I have to raise rent on my good tenants. I've mentioned one of my absolute favorite tenants. Her name's Janet. She's been in the same rental since 1979, and when I bought her house, she said, I really hope you're a good landlord. And I said, well, I'm going to try to take good care of the property. And she said, no, I just hope you don't lose. She said, I hope you don't go bankrupt, because you are my seventh landlord since I've been in this house, and 5 of them have gone bankrupt. And when I sit down and talk to people about why they need to pay their rent on time, I mention Janet. I love Janet. I think she is so much like my grandma. It's crazy. She's just such a sweet older lady. And I think of Janet every time these people screw me on rent money, because they are costing her money down the line. Even if I pay just myself a very small salary with my rentals, it still takes money out of her pocket. I have less money to upgrade her house. I have less money to work with to pay the mortgage, to pay the bills, taxes, insurance, things like that, the things that I have to pay. And it's just like, how would you treat somebody that robbed your grandma? How would you treat somebody that takes money from your grandma? And I deal with all these tenants that do terrible, awful, slightly evil things. And I have to take a stance of, to remain profitable within my company. So what advice to buy an existing laundromat? Learn how to evaluate a laundromat or any business. Learn to read a profit statement. Learn to read a tax return. A tax return is a good thing to ask when you're buying a laundromat. Do my tenants sign contracts to lock in for a specific month? I go month to month on everything now, because it's been the advice given to me even by the local court magistrates. Just do month to month. That way you don't have to give them a reason to kick them out. And the only reason I'll ever kick, not the only reason, but the number one reason is going to be non-payment. The second reason is going to be they're selling drugs out of a house. So I don't know if I do okay in California. I do not have a college level degree. I went to a accredited school for 3 weeks in Columbus called Hondros. You have to go to an accredited school to get your real estate license. I went there for 3 weeks, which is the absolute bare minimum the state of Ohio says you can do. I have no other school education beyond that. Are coin-operated poker or slot machines legal in Ohio? They are not. The state of Ohio says they're going to make a license for them, but they just haven't. What software do I use to manage the rentals? I use a software called Appfolio. It's very expensive. First successful investment, I don't know. When my great aunt and uncle died, I went to their auction and I bid and won some Benjamin Franklin $50, and I paid, I want to say, $1 a piece for them. So that was a pretty good investment. How often do I raise my rent when it's the same tenant? I have never raised rent on any tenant. I will raise my rents on tenants when they move out or they transfer. I do have tenants that want to transfer to a bigger or smaller house. And if I do that, I will renegotiate or look at the rent. How about Bitcoin? Bitcoin's very highly speculative. I think it's a good idea to own a little bit of Bitcoin. I do too. So, to have friends or family as a tenant, yes, I would not. I would not recommend it. It can sour relationships in your family, and I won't go into any more detail than that. I need to raise my rents. I don't know. I don't like raising rents on tenants because if they take care of my property, as long as my internal costs aren't going up significantly, I just don't want to raise rent. The houses that my parents lived in, the landlords never raised rent. So, are my properties paid off? Yeah, I don't know that. I think I've paid. I have not paid off any mortgages, but I just own properties free, some properties free and clear. So, what price did I buy Bitcoin? I at one time had Bitcoin from the days that they were giving it away for free from Bitcoin faucets. Back in 2011, you can go on a website, you could copy and paste your Bitcoin wallet code, and by doing that, you would get half of a Bitcoin. I'm going to post a link in the chat to my Instagram again. You are the fourth person today that says I look like Shoe Nice. Minimum cap rate, 14%. Oh my goodness, it's past midnight. Yes, I self-manage. A car wash can be a turnkey business. I think it's just the same thing. How much am I worth? I don't even know. I would have to sit down and I would have to look at all my debt. I do know I'm in debt of 1.65 million, but then I'd have to figure out what every single property I have is worth. Then I have some equity agreements, not with every investor, but I have equity agreements with some. So if I ever sell the property, they get a cut from the proceeds of the sale. Would I buy a blending? How do you buy a bending machine? I don't know what that is. Will there be a downturn this year? I don't know. If I could predict the future, I'd win the Powerball. I think that would be good. Yeah, Ohio is in Eastern Standard Time, so we're GMT -4. So, yeah. 1.6 million. Affordable rentals, own a laundromat because of sound and atmosphere, and love coin dozers. I don't know that anybody's ever said I am their spirit animal. That's kind of interesting. Why do I carry so much debt? Because I've grown very fast. I've gone from no rentals in 2013 to 140 rentals, and debt's been the easiest way to grow that. Would I keep working if I won the Powerball? Yeah, I'm sure I would. I might go on a nice vacation or something. Do you think the recession is coming? I think I'll do fine. I mean, my brother, the properties I helped him buy before the recession happened, he still owns them, and he always made money. Very few landlords I met during the recession went under. Some did, but not many did. 1.6 ain't nothing if they're generating 2,600,000 profit minus taxes. Do I have a plan to bring down the debt? I'm paying down a very good portion of that debt every year. Am I religious? Yes, I am. I'm actually a leader at my church. I don't want to get too religious on my streams because I don't want to make people mad. You can also kind of get demonetized for that, which is kind of funny. Would I ever invest in a rental company? You'd have to explain that a little more. 70% of lottery winners go bankrupt in a few years. That's absolutely true, and that's why you really need to learn financial literacy and how to manage money. Even if you work at Walmart or McDonald's, you need to learn to manage your money, because if you learn to manage your money, it'll grow. If you don't learn to manage your money and you just are looking to make more money, your you won't ever get ahead. And I've talked to people and they've said, well, what's it like owning 140 rentals? I bet you make all this money. I bet you do this. I bet you do that. And my statement to most people is, take your current financial state and add a couple zeros to it. Add 3 more zeros to it. If you aren't making money now and you are doing very poorly in life now, you're going to be miserable. It's just going to be worse. Now, if you're doing okay and you are making money, you're saving money, you're financially literate, you are doing good with the money that you do have, then yeah, rentals are great. You'll make money. What's my cap rate? 16.8% is my internal cap rate for last year. You have 350K. You want to buy a cash flow business. Are you looking for a laundromat? Like I said before, I met a guy. I ran into a guy that's selling a laundromat in NYC. He's bringing in 2.9 million a year. Have I ever wanted to quit? No, not really. Yes, not did I say 16.2% cap rate? It's 16.8. That's my golden magic number for cap rate. Do I deal with envy among my family towards my success? A little bit. Not so much people at my church. They are all on board with my success. They love it because they see what I'm doing for the community and the people that I've helped. I've got some people in my family, not a lot, but some people in my family, it's hard to see how a business works from the outside if you've never owned a business before. I have to make some hard decisions in the life of people, including evicting people, and I hate it. I don't get sleep at night sometimes because I have to evict people. Invest. Yes, I invest. Can I adopt you? No. You probably not. Oh, the live stream's down. Did my first ever eviction mess with my head? I would have to look. Where did I learn financial literacy? Endlessly watching Dave Ramsey videos on YouTube. Do I rent to Section 8? Yes, I do. I have a few. Do you count the trailer park as one property or multiple? It's one property just with 47 rentals. Worst eviction, the meth lab. Do have an exit strategy. Probably rolling it all into a big, gigantic management company and just walking away that way. If all the properties are in a management company, I can sell the whole company. Storage units, not yet. We are looking at doing storage units at the trailer park. Man, this chat's flying through fast. How on earth? This chat it started off at 250 and then it went down to 200. Now it's back up to 241. That's craziness. Living in a big city. I just don't have any interest in living in a big city. I know a lot of people do. Buy property in Smithville, Texas. I don't want to live in Texas. Profit from a vending machine. I'd have to sit down and figure it out. Own any property in Ross County? Yes, I do. We've talked about it, JK15. I'm surprised you knew that I went through your place to get a drink today. Were you at the carryout on Bridge? If you live in Ross County, you know where my trailer park is. Okay, cool. Okay, this is weird because, I'm kind of shocked that somebody in this live chat, I bought Monster off them today. How did you find my YouTube channel? And I'm surprised that I look the same on YouTube as I do in the real world. Financial literacy book, I would say Financial Peace University, and your local library would have a copy. I'm always big on getting things for free. Best Monster flavor, peach tea. And it's almost sugar-free, so I pretend it's healthy. What type of church do I go to? I go to a church that was started in 1812. It is the Dave Ramsey video. Cool. JK15, I'm the president of the Scioto Valley Real Estate Investor Association. If you ever want to learn about investments, we meet at the OUC building. Get on Facebook, look for Chillicothe Investors. My buddy runs that, and he posts our meeting times, and you can come for free. Editing software. I know how to run OBS. We were going to run Open Broadcaster tonight, but my brother could not make it. Better camera, I'm running off my cell phone. I do have a nice DSLR with HDMI out. It has live capabilities, but I don't like buying the converter box. Richest Man in Babylon's a good book. Do you have any goals? I just want to keep buying properties and help people. I invested. How much have I invested? I don't know. How much I pull in from the laundromat each month? I would tell you to watch one of the next videos. I am streaming with my Samsung Galaxy Note 9. I haven't tried Streamlabs. What would make a laundromat? I started a laundromat out of spite, to spite somebody because they bought a hotel and I wanted the hotel. And my buddy Sean called me up one day and said, hey, you can't buy the, I know you lost the bid on the hotel by $500. Why don't you buy the laundromat next to it? So I thought, oh, that sounds like a good deal. So we did that. Xbox, PC. You're going to laugh, but when I do play PUBG, it's on my phone. Should you use retirement investments to buy a house? It's so property and location specific. Would you buy anything big with your money? I don't know. This is going to sound weird, and the guy that lives in Chillicothe can tell you. There's a guy that owns tanks, World War II tanks in Chillicothe, and I always thought, wouldn't it be fun to drive down the road in a tank one day? Because they're legal to own in the United States. They're very expensive, but I thought that'd be cool. How do I help people? Really, I want to help people by helping them to not be slaves to debt and to money, and to have businesses and investments that help make them financially free. My grandpa worked 3 jobs during the 50s and 60s, and he worked his butt off so my mom and her sister and her brother could have the things in life that he didn't have. His family came up to Ohio from Kentucky during the Depression, and my mom just never had any interest in investing, in building wealth and being financially literate. My uncle did. He does pretty well. And it's just like, I've seen what happens when you live paycheck to paycheck, and it's very stressful. And I just would like people to have the knowledge that you don't have to live that way. But it takes a lot of hard work and sacrifice, but that hard work and sacrifice has to be spent in the right direction. I meet people that work their butt off, work way harder than I do, and they've never got ahead. And it's mostly because they don't know how to invest their money, and they don't know how to keep their expenses. Aren't I a slave to debt? Not really. I could get out of debt tomorrow if I wanted to be. It's just that the debt I have produces money. So, same equipment. Yeah, I would love to have uniform laundromats. It's just so expensive. Have I always lived in Ohio? I have always lived in the same county in Ohio. I have always lived within about 10 miles of where I was born. So, could I drive the tank through an old trailer? That would be so fun. There's actually a salvage yard here right outside Columbus called Deer Creek, and after World War II they bought a salvage M4 Sherman. Well, it's not an M4 Sherman, it's a tank retriever based on the M4 Sherman platform, and they used it as a car crusher because it was easier to buy this tank looking thing than it was to buy a real car crusher. And they used the tank as a car crusher for 20 or 30 years, and at some point it was really going out of use. And they sold it or they didn't sell it, they gave it to the local VFW. So if you're ever coming out of Columbus and you're driving through by Circleville and you see the VFW with the flagpole on US 23, that tank used to be a car crusher. Am I a Browns fan? I don't want to say that I'm a fan. I do support them. I like them. I also like the Bengals. Parking lots as investment. That's almost impossible to do here. Have I ever left my country? I would love to go to Canada. Oh, it's back. Do I have a good amount of money in my bank right now? Not too bad. I won't say how much, but why do people pay $500 a month on a trailer when they could buy one outright for several thousand? It's just priorities. I'm meeting a lot of people that don't want to own the place they're in. They want somebody else to maintain it for them. We've kind of got this generation of millennials and Gen Z that have very little understanding on how to fix things in their house. I'm kind of one of them. It's really, really depressing. And it's easier to outsource all that stuff to somebody else. From my perspective, my maintenance crew that I employ is very efficient cost-wise, and they could get it fixed cheaper than the average person can. I love Aldi. What job did I have before owning properties? I started being a real estate agent when I was 21. Before that, I worked at a warehouse for Gap and Old Navy fulfillment right outside Columbus in a town called Groveport. So if you had purchased clothes from Gap or Old Navy between 2003 and 2006, there's a good chance that I touched your clothes. Business for teens, I'm going to do a video on that. That's very complicated. How did I find the maintenance crew? I had heard that the maintenance crew for a local landlord had quit because the landlord wanted to keep cutting corners. And I decided a while back that that's the kind of person I want. I want a maintenance guy that gets fired because they're trying to do a good job. Commercial or single family, I do both. It's not retail. I worked at the online fulfillment center. Where did my hair go? My hair was pulled out by kids. Oh my gosh, it looks terrible. I promise that's mostly because of the hat. When I was 18, 16, 17, 18, I put all these terrible hair products in. I blame that on what? Oh my goodness, it disconnected. Do I change my oil or I pay someone else to do it? I typically pay somebody. I typically find a place that lets me bring my own oil and own filter, because you can get such good filters and such good oil for cheap anymore. And I pay someone, like 20, 25 bucks to change the oil in the car, but then I use the good stuff. So how do I find a contractor work? I talked about that a little bit. How old am I? I am 34. $10,000. It's kind of hard to get into. I mean, you could get into vending for 10 grand, or there's a bunch of different business I guess you get in for 10 grand. Real estate's a little hard. Single or multifamily? I would say a single family home because they're just easier. They might be less profitable, but the thing is, I would say that with a single family, they're just easier to buy. Now, there's some areas where duplexes and multifamilies are hugely devalued, so that might be more. What car do I drive? I drive a 2012 Kia Forte with a rebuilt title that I bought for $4,300 with 67,000 miles on it. I've already put over 30,000 miles on it, so. You have 1.5 million to invest, but you don't know what to do. I would say find a fee. I think they're called a fee-based advisor. If you get on the personal finance subreddit on reddit.com/r/personal finance, they've got some really good guides on what to do if you have a large sum of money and how to invest it. That's the recommendation. What new car do I want? I don't know. Something cheap. I borrowed a Spider 124 Abarth off my cousin. It was really cool. But I just, would I move to the West Coast? I really don't have any interest in moving to the West Coast. Yeah, I do rent to some Section 8. What do I think of Bitcoin? I've got some Bitcoin. I would not go all in on Bitcoin. Stock market or any money. I don't do the online bank account thing. It's either in investments or real estate. I just, like I said earlier, I'm wearing a thrift store shirt. The hat's probably worth more than anything else. I'm wearing, I kid you not. We talked about me working at a warehouse fulfillment center, the Gap fulfillment center years ago. The cargo shorts that I'm wearing right now, I wore at the warehouse. So the shorts that I'm wearing are over 15 years old. That's how cheap I am. I would much rather spend it on investments than I would anything flashy. Libra, I don't know about Libra. What's the max amount of quarters the washer and dryers hold? The newer Speed Queens hold $250. The top loads and the Wascomat 125s, they hold $140. Political stance, I will answer that one more. I am the political spectrum person that everybody hates. I don't get along with anybody. I am a right-leaning, moderate libertarian. I don't get along with most of the libertarians that I run into. I say things that make left and right-wing people typically mad. So, do I sport bet? No, I really don't gamble. I said earlier I never gamble. I do put quarters in my quarter pusher once in a while. What two podcasts? I don't listen to podcasts. Would I buy a trailer park or a car wash? I do own a trailer park. We just bought that 3 weeks ago. I would love to buy a car wash. If you guys watch enough of my videos and make ad money, I will buy a car wash for you guys. I sound exactly like you, but you don't have a lot of properties. Do I know my net worth? Not really. Do I own or rent? I own the house I live in. Yes, the monster. Yeah, this monster costs more than my clothes for the most part. I guess that is the bad habit I have. I said don't smoke earlier, but I do drink Monster once in a while. Well, you guys go through and watch all my videos and like all of them. Make me a bunch of YouTube ad money. I will buy you guys a car wash and I will document every little thing about it. I don't know what I want to do when I'm older. Is Ohio landlord or tenant friendly? It's kind of in the middle. Tenants say that we are landlord friendly. Landlords say we are tenant friendly. Is the park developed already? Yeah. It was so run down. There's 46 trailer pads there. We've already had to go through and tear down 10 trailers because they were just unsalvageable. It's crazy. Will I write a book? It'll be really awesome. I don't know. Will you? The house I'm living in right now was appraised by the county for 175. It's probably worth 215 now. It would probably be worth 300 if I put a garage on it. The outstanding mortgage is 85. How much was the trailer park? It was 325, but we had the seller carry back 100,000 on it, so it was only 225 out of pocket. Yes, almost everything I have is an LLC. I own a couple houses in my own personal name. Residential laundry equipment, Speed Queen. I've had my license since 2006, my real estate license. You don't need to have one, but how did I find my maintenance crew? I poached them from a local landlord. He had quit because the landlord was trying to cheap out on everything. And I thought, that's the kind of guy. I want the guy that's not going to cut corners. I want the guy that's going to do the right job, because these properties I own, I want them to last forever. And it would be better to spend a little extra money to make the properties last a long time than it would be to own something that is going to fall apart next year. Do I carry health care for my worker? I cannot. I have looked so hard to buy health care for the guys that work for me, and it's just so expensive. Am I famous in my town? Sort of. This newspaper deal that I have is really popular, but I am the back end business guy for it. I don't do a lot of reporting and stuff. A buddy of mine, well, I guess he's a buddy now, a guy we got named Jeremy, he does the reporting, and he is truly famous. Milnor is very good equipment. Am I infamous in town? No, I am not, thankfully. Although there was a circulating Facebook post that said I was the president of the local chapter of the Illuminati, which somebody sent me a text saying, you need to read this post right now and disassociate yourself from the Illuminati. And it just blew my mind. No, I was not. I don't really want to play the guitar for you guys. Will I buy a self-storage facility? Yes. We're planning on doing self-storage at the trailer park. I don't have a financial advisor. It depends on the mobile home. Buying the land's hard from what I see. Did I open a lot? The laundromats were all in existing locations. How much did I make monthly altogether? This month, I think we're at $44K. That's revenues, not actual profit. I'd have to sit down and look at it because I spend tons of money on CapEx. Do I have a wife? Yes, I'm married with 4 kids. Do people consider me a slumlord? The people that I've evicted call me a slumlord. Most of my tenants tend to like me pretty well. I've got a good relationship with most of my tenants. Once in a while, some of the times people I evict will get on Facebook and run me down. And once in a while, there's been 2 or 3 times my existing tenants and former tenants that I have good relationships, they just kind of dogpile on them. I had one guy run me down that I evicted. I had like 20 tenants go on, and they called them all these nasty names. It was hilarious. Did I sell the parking lot? Which parking lot? I'm going to have to get off of here soon. It's 12:30. Oh my gosh. How much do I earn monthly from the laundromat? Net or gross? This month will bring in $5K revenue on the laundromat, but I don't know what the net will be. Maybe 1.5 or 2. I'd like to package the company up and make self-sustaining management. I really don't expect my kids to have a passion for real estate. If they have a passion for real estate, maybe they can get involved. But I also don't like the idea of giving my kids something they haven't earned. I talk about the Gary deal a lot, where this elderly gentleman gave his $1.2 million real estate business to his son, and the son started renting properties out to his drug buddies, ran the whole thing into the ground, and I came in and bought most of the properties that were extremely poor performing by that point for next to nothing. And after seeing that man go through so much heartbreak caused by his son, I kind of am at this point where I don't want my kids to do it unless they have an absolutely burning passion for it. Chevy, Ford, or Dodge. I'm going to tell you something that's going to break your heart. If I had to pick a truck, it would be either a Nissan Titan or a Tundra. Chevy, Ford, and Dodge, they each have really good things going for them. If I had to get a one of those three, I would probably go with a Dodge with a Cummins in it. I really like Allison transmissions. They just seem to be so flippin' cool. But the new Chevy Duramax, I'm hearing really good things about. But then Ford has that new 7.2 or 7.3 Godzilla engine. And I am hearing from fleet maintaining guys that do fleet maintenance, that new Godzilla gas motor is a beast. And it's got the 10-speed automatic transmission in it with the potential for paddle shifting. And it's just like, oh. But the thing is, though, you know, I still am not at a point that I need to get a truck. I use my Expedition for everything. So... Does that mean you like Tundras and Nissan Titans? The reason I like Nissan Titans is because they have a terrible depreciation curve. Like here in Ohio, they become worthless very quickly as compared to Dodge, Chevy, and Ford. So when you pull a Nissan Titan off the car lot, you lose like 40% of the value, which I really like, which is why I love Kia. They depreciate like 60% in the first 3 years, but they're decent reliable. I have not had anything go wrong with my Kia Forte so far. How long before I start hiring employees? I am trying to not hire employees. I love the idea of 1099 contracting everything and making them have equity. Grow my Instagram by doing a live story on there. I will try that, Andrew Shevchuk. That is a Apollo guitar made in 1968. It sounds like crap. As a hollow body. It needs to be refinished. That's a lawsuit era Ibanez under the name Apollo. It's a copy of a Gibson ES 335. I think the 335 is the dot. And my brother, it's not my guitar, that's my brother's guitar. He bought it off an older guy. When I say older, he's like 60 now. Who taught my brother and I to learn guitar. He felt bad for us because we didn't have many guitars to play, so he sold my brother that guitar for $50, which is a really, really good deal. So, raise my kids right, it will be less of a problem. I hope I do. Would you quit everything if I became YouTube famous? I've had that conversation with some of my friends, and the question would be, how famous is YouTube famous? Like, am I making Graham Stephan money? He makes 167K a year, or not a year, a month. So he makes 1.8 million a year off YouTube, which is nice. I wouldn't quit what I mean, the thing is, it's kind of worrisome and bothers me with that is like, most of my experiences come from dealing with rentals, dealing with people, dealing with money. And with YouTube, it's like I would not have content to draw off of eventually. Yeah, I could probably go like a year because I've got so many amazing stories to talk about and situations I've gone through, but eventually I'll run out of content. So do I get in real estate again as a manager or a landlord, or do I start making crap up? And that's what happens with some of these guys. They start making crap up, and it makes me cringe. I hope so, Dalton. Do I accept rent payments online? Yeah, we've done that for quite some time. I have never done a 1031. When will I get my first YouTube check? Probably around the 20th of next month. I'll do a video on that. They're already saying it's a bunch of money. The current Nissan Titan does have a Cummins in it. The diesel, it is the Titan XD, which is really cool. It was a Dodge Cummins project that Dodge skipped out on, and they had already done almost all the engineering for that engine, and they were looking for a buyer, and for some reason Nissan bought it, which kind of weird. It's a V8 diesel. That's weird. Can you buy land and mobile homes on it? I don't understand that question. Monthly profit on what? Free internet, yeah, we will do free Wi-Fi for all the tenants at the mobile home park, as long as they pay the rent. If they don't pay their rent, I'll probably add their MAC address to the router and ban them. So, hi Zane Ball. My biggest advice for rentals is the same with everything else. It's to really be passionate about what you do and enjoy learning. If you enjoy learning, like you truly enjoy learning, I think you'll be successful at almost anything you do. Because even if you fail, you'll learn a lot from it, and you eventually just have to fail at a bunch of different stuff. Can I teach you my ways? I'm trying to through YouTube, the magic of YouTube. I have 200 people in here I've never met. Airbnb, I'm trying to get into it. Is the laundromat profitable? Yes. What's my score each month? I don't understand. Hotels, I don't know. Will you teach financial literacy to teens at my church? We actually have paid for the Financial Peace University product from Dave Ramsey, and it's available to everybody that goes to my church for free. We do classes on it, I think, once a year. I also do financial I do financial well, we have a separate Dave Ramsey class, and then I've got a business economics investing class. So I really like Dave Ramsey. I'm not a huge fan on his investing advice, but for the most part, what he says is really good. I think his investment returns are a little more rosy than they should be because they don't factor in downturns. But it's like, if Dave Ramsey's accurate 90% of the time, would you really not listen to somebody that's accurate 90% of the time? I'm not accurate 90% of the time. Am I going to get better machines? Yes, I am. As soon as I can, I'd like to. Do I listen to Clark Howard from Atlanta? Have not heard it. Screw college. I hate to say to screw college, but there's just a lot of trash degrees out there. What do I think about the economy and land plots? It depends on what land plots you're talking about. I think that agricultural land, like farms, are overvalued right now. Am I going to put security cameras at my laundromat and all your trailer park? I have cameras out the wazoo on the laundromat. I just don't talk about them on my channel because I don't want you guys to see exactly what I've got going on. I don't get robbed. Absolutely at the trailer park. Yeah, I am definitely in between like Graham Stephan and Dave Ramsey on credit cards. I don't think credit cards are the devil, but living in a household where my parents were at one time like $50,000 or $60,000 worth of credit card debt, it's a situation just where I see how dangerous they can be. I don't deal with HOAs here. What's the worst thing I dealt with in the laundry business? The only thing that I kind of cringe about, like right now, like that's the only thing that I've happened was we had this laundry trap in one of the nicer washers, and I reached my hand in to grab. I could see something, and I thought it was a sock, and I kind of reached in and grabbed, and I pulled out a handful of cigarette butts. And they just kind of, it was gross. I didn't like that. What would I do if they stole money? Who? Yes, I've had 100 people tell me to do a drill thing on those washers. I can get all 4 of my old Lodestars open. I can open them up now in 2 minutes. I am so much quicker on opening that stuff. That's the thing, guys. You know, YouTube picked an old video to make viral and to post on the homepage. And the crazy thing with that was I've improved so much since then, but you know, I guess a lot of people feel bad for me from that video, which would my profit margin go up with new equipment? It probably would. I would raise the prices maybe a little bit, but then I want to implement a discount system for returning people. Do I believe in fate? Not really. I mean, fate is like an Eastern religious thing, and from what I've studied on it, I'm not too big on that. When did I find the laundromat? Somebody called me. That's there. I'll do the story on that. Convenience store, pharmacy, small restaurant. Hi, Australia. Are my dryers free? No, they're 25 cents for 10 minutes. I would almost consider making them free, except it is so expensive to convert them. My dryers are very old, and it's almost impossible to make them run free. So right now we run them, it's 10 minutes for 25 cents, which is the longest in our county. And the other thing that kind of makes me iffy on making my dryers free is there's a lot of people that go and they wash their clothes like in a sink or something, and then they throw those wet clothes in the dryer. And that actually damages dryers because you're not supposed to throw in soaking wet clothes. They need to be extracted. Shout me out. Haven't I shouted you out, JP Vending, already? How old am I? 34. Does it get packed? My laundromat's been awesome the past 2 weeks. We actually had somebody come in and leave because they couldn't find a washer. What time is it? We'll go till 1 o'clock. I'll go till... Would I put my dryer on the blockchain? If I could make money off of it, I would. Nobody in the area uses Bitcoin. I've had a lot of people ask if I'd put a Bitcoin kiosk in. I just can't do it. JP Vending is one of your subs on your other channel. That's funny. Did you find them? F&G hubby? I don't know what that is. Why not do Dogecoin? I've already talked about Dogecoin in this webcast. Do I have laundry attendants? I do not. Eventually, I will have one roving attendant. It's the guy that does cleanouts. Who do I use for background credit checks? I don't do credit checks. I just do background checks, and I typically do them. YouTube money? I don't know. I thought about taking a vote. I do want to get one of those old mobster type cash counters, like the kind they have at the bank, but just old. I really love that coin machine. I kid you not. I run that coin machine just for fun. It's so awesome. I love that sound. And I love the sound of money in a cash counter flipping through. And so I think that's going to be the one thing I'll buy with YouTube money. What's the best investment you've done? I don't know. Do I hunt? I haven't in so long. I love hunting. I just don't have the time to do it. I'm a very nice guy. You've never met me in person. This all could be a lie. There's some areas where you just can't buy a laundromat without renting them. What's my ROI on the laundry business? I've been told that I should expect at full occupancy, when everything's running right, the laundromat, $5K a month. So the whole facility and everything, if we bought it for cash, is like $125K. Have I always been an entrepreneur? My brother and I started running a business since we were 15. There's been times where I haven't run some sort of business, but I've failed in so many things. Oh my gosh. I'm just Vanguard on almost everything. Is YouTube a passive income? No, it's not. I'm doing a video right now. You're being marketed to right now, whether you want to admit it or not. I'm just trying to get engagement for you guys to convince you guys to go back and watch and sub and love all my stuff. Who influenced my entrepreneurial mentality? I've talked about him a lot in my channel. His name's Norm. He's the former CEO of an oil company. When I got my real estate license out of sheer desperation. And I happened to work in an office with Norm, and he taught me so much about wealth. And he came from a way poorer background than I did. He didn't have shoes till he was like, I can't remember the exact age, but it was either he was 10 years old or he was 12 years old before he had his first pair of shoes. And to know he went from growing up without shoes to being the CEO of an oil company, the largest oil company in my area of Ohio. And he was humble and he was kind and he's just a wonderful human being. And after meeting him and really spending time with him, I was like, this is the kind of guy I want to be. I need to aspire to be as kind and compassionate and caring and as well off as he is. So real estate course in the state of Ohio, you have to go to a accredited college. I did for 3 weeks. So my brother fixes the machines at the laundromat. Standard Oil, no. They're a regional oil company, and they just do oil sales in Southern Ohio. Worst investment I made, I gave a guy $40,000 a long time ago to invest in buying mortgage or not mortgage. I can't remember what kind of data. It was consumer data. And at one time he was brokering it he was flipping consumer data. And at some point he found out it was legal. Bitcoin's okay, but it's very speculative. I think everybody should buy some Bitcoin, but I don't think you shouldn't go all in. Tesla, I love Tesla. At one time, 70% of my stock was in Tesla. I sold it at 372 so I could convert to a self-directed IRA. Was I not on the news once? I don't know. I own a news company in Southern Ohio, and I've done some live broadcasts. So if you've seen me like in Southern Ohio, Central Ohio on the news, it's been with my news channel. What was my favorite company that I made that failed? I don't know. I would have to spend a lot of brain cells on that one. What channel do I run around here? Do you know who the Scioto Post is, Dalton? I am a minority owner in the Scioto Post. It's a news agency in Southern Ohio. Once in a while, you'll see me on a live stream. I did a chase that started at Rickenbacker Airport, and they were shooting. This guy was in a black Chevy Camaro SS. And he outran the police. They had the entire Rickenbacker Airport security chasing him, and he, like Dukes of Hazzard, outran them, got them stuck in the mud. But he ended in a apartment complex, and suicide by cop type deal, unfortunately. And I was watching this from a distance, broadcasting it live. I was there for 3.5 hours documenting what was going on with this barricade situation. And I kept looking at that car and I'm like, oh my gosh, I hope they don't destroy that car. That car is beautiful. You know, I'm getting messages on my phone while I'm doing the live broadcast, and my brother's like, this is his Facebook page. We found out the guy that did the police chase. He's like, that's a black SS. Unfortunately ended in a shooting. The police did their machine or whatever, and they turned off my cell phone remotely, which is crazy. You go on the broadcast and there's a 3-minute dead point where they shoot the guy and stuff, and it was completely... Have ever been shunned for being a boss by people who don't understand anything outside of 9x5 every single week? Am I worried about a recession? No, not really. What car do I drive? I drive a 2012 Kia Forte. Online businesses can do very well. It just depends on the kind you're at. Am I in Ohio? Yes, I'm in Ohio. I love Ohio. 8 minutes, guys. We're still at almost 200 people. That's crazy. What happened to the black Camaro? I can only imagine it's been repossessed. It was full of bullet holes. My gosh, they lit that car up. What's it in Ohio? It's kind of comfortable. I'm 20 miles south of Columbus. I said 8 minutes an hour ago. You are correct, sir. What other states have I been to? I've been to almost all of them east of the Mississippi. Houses are very cheap in Ohio. Have you considered venture capital startup investing? Yes, I as a recipient, yes. As a investor, no. Do you stock the vending machines by myself? Yes, I do. That's going to change soon. I like stocking them. It's kind of fun. I might do a live stream every week. Is it snowing in Ohio right now? No, it's 70. Thoughts on Canada? Canada as a country, Canada as people, or Canada as investment? I'm not too big on Canadian investment. Just because their legal structure, I'm not a huge fan of. Canadians, I love Canadians. They're so nice. Canada as a country, wonderful country, beautiful. I go fishing once a year on Lake Erie. I can see Canada. I want to get on a boat. There's a boat in between the state of Ohio and Ontario called Peel Island. I would love to get on a boat and go camp on Peel Island someday. But I would have to leave the U.S. So. You're from Chicago. Go buy some houses in Gary, Indiana. Did they interrupt the cell phone service? Yes, they did. And my phone went into this very odd jammed situation. Rental property. I suggest LLCs for everything. Will Moss from Ohio, real estate investor. I've not heard of him. How much are houses in Ohio? I just posted a new channel update page on my YouTube, and I posted the picture of a duplex, which means a 2 rental unit I got for $8,900. I think it's called Stingray. Affiliate marketing. I did tons of affiliate marketing. I'm going to do some videos on doing affiliate marketing in the past. When I do my YouTube revenue report, I will talk to you guys about affiliate. Dream car. One of my investors, it's my, I don't know if I can say it. It's my trailer park investor. Him and I said that one of us will buy a Tesla Roadster. Who cleans my laundromat? My nephew. But a Tesla Roadster is like $250,000. So I think what I want to do is buy a Tesla Roadster, and I'm going to put it on Turo, so then I can drive it like once a month, but then the cost will actually be paid for. Ohio's it takes, for non-payment, it takes effectively 30 days to get a tenant out. If it's not for non-payment, it usually takes about 45 days. How many businesses do you own? I own my rental business. I own 3 laundromats. I'm going to open up a 4th one. I own the news business. And then I am a YouTube entrepreneur. For better or for worse. As long as you guys keep liking and enjoying my videos. What do I do about squatters? It depends on the squatter situation. There's legal ways to deal with it. There's definitely illegal ways. So far, I've been able to get out all my squatters by physical removal. The state of Ohio allows you to physically remove a squatter yourself under certain situations, and I've been within those situations. There's certain kind of situations where a squatter could get in. You have to do a no-fault eviction. Is wholesaling legal in Ohio? Not really, but people do it all the time. And what I mean by wholesaling is like very strict contract flipping. You're not supposed to... I should buy an online forum from Brownells. Brownells bought the online forum for like $150 million. I do not have that kind of money to buy an online forum. Would I manage property for somebody else? No, I wouldn't. I hate that idea. I would manage a property for somebody else if it meant that I could own it someday. Our arcade machine for my laundromat, I would love to buy like a Raspberry Pi one that you could like buy a game for a quarter. Yeah, Ed Avilia, or however you want to say his name, he had a standing offer from some group, I want to say 10 years ago, for $50 million, and he turned it down. They were willing to keep Ed as the owner of the forum while taking the $50 million buyout. ROI means return on investment. How much did the laundromat cost, including rent and machines? I own that location. The mortgage is $537 a month, $85K, and then the repairs are what, 25K? 3-minute warning. Thank you. Ever been scared of alcohol poisoning? I am not shoe nice. I am not that man. What sells the most in the vending machines by far? Um, Mountain Dew. That shouldn't surprise you. I'm glad I'm your favorite channel. Can Kyle get a shout out from Colorado? I don't know. Do you drink Monster, Kyle? Do you drink Monster, Kyle? What about the chips machine? It works pretty good. I went there today. I didn't have enough time, and my vending machine's almost completely empty. Sorry, Q makes it happen. I'm going to be off in a minute anyway, 2 minutes. Goals, I don't know. Keep doing what I'm doing. I enjoy. Vincent Perot. I like your last name. And if you send me a message on Instagram, instagram.com/investmentjoy, I will mail you a $2 bill if you live in the United States. I brought in some $2 bills. I think I've given them all away now. You live in the UK. Cool. I don't want to deal with dry cleaning. I don't know if you guys know about the history of dry cleaning, but back in the olden days, they used kerosene to clean people's clothes. And then after the 20s or the 30s, they changed to this other substance that's like kerosene, but it's not kerosene. And big surprise, it causes lots of cancer. And most dry cleaners had this really awful habit of just kind of throwing it out in the yard or in their parking lot or dumping it down the drains. So you find out that there's this extreme carcinogenic fluid that dry cleaners use. And I've gone back to make sure all of my laundromats have never done dry cleaning. I don't want to be George Jefferson. I don't get to watch the Jeffersons too much because I don't watch TV much, but I really like it. How much did I make from the laundromat? I don't pay myself anything. I said it earlier in the live stream. I have not personally paid myself a dime from the laundromat. And that's kind of the reality with running a business. You might not make any money. Now I'm doing just fine off my rental property, so I don't need that money, and the money just keeps kind of getting reinvested in it. Send him Dogecoin for the $2 bill. Oh, it's bedtime. I'm sorry. Special insurance. Yeah, I've got the state of Ohio requires you to have boiler insurance because the boiler can explode and kill people. It's crazy. I know MythBusters did a video a while back on a explosion of a hot water heater. You guys need to watch it and see what happens. That could happen in a laundromat, so you need to be careful. I am slowly packing up from my live stream. I'm going to answer questions till I get... Did you guys see my prop money? I knew that would get some clicks. And do I smoke weed? I do not smoke weed. I don't believe in drug use. I've also never smoked tobacco either, or consumed tobacco. I do drink alcohol once in a great while. I'm not opposed to alcohol consumption. I have this fear that I'm going to be going to the trailer park or rental someday and somebody attacks me and then I have to explain to the police why I attacked them or was attacked. I don't want alcohol to be in my system. So I know alcohol is a drug. When I say I drink alcohol once in a while, I mean when I get a real bad sore throat, I might drink some rum or some vodka or whiskey. I don't drink to the point of being drunk, so I use it more of a medicinal aid. So you guys don't want me to get me started on smoking weed. I have a very long rant, and I'll probably lose half your people over it. Everything in moderation, except it's meth. I'm just reading comments. It's been fun. Did you guys enjoy it? If you have a question, send me a question on Instagram, instagram.com/investmentjoy. INVESTMENTJOY. I can respond to messages on there. Facebook sucks for messaging. Oh my goodness. So if you have a question on there, even with 30K subs, I'm not that big that I can't answer questions. If I run out at some point, if this channel grows real big, I won't be able to answer every question. At this point, I can. So use Telegram or Discord. I am on Discord. I'm on Graham Stephan's Discord a lot. He has the best financial Discord out there. If you need an invite to his Discord, just send me a message on Instagram and I'll get one to you. It's really cool. Instagram is an investment joy. It's the same as my YouTube channel. It's just there's no space in it. Ben Mala approved. I would love to meet Ben. He's so much like a lot of the characters that I meet locally. Do I feel like Mr. Leahy? No, I don't. I feel like Barb. I feel so bad for Barb in that show because she's standing kind of on the outside looking in at everything just falling apart. I feel terrible. I feel terrible for Barb. I would love Coke bottle glasses and look like Bubbles. Mr. Leahy's probably my favorite character. Shoe Nice is this guy that I guess looks like me, and he eats raw steaks and he drinks motor oil. I've answered the car wash question 100 times. Like and subscribe. Love my channel. Watch my videos. If I get enough money, I will buy one for you guys. And my list says content creator Graham's Discord. No, I was on one of his episodes. Shoe bad. That's funny. Buy some bubble glasses for Halloween. That'd be fun. I think I could pull off Bubbles. Shoe Nice would eat a dryer. Okay, guys. We're only 4 minutes past. How many followers do I have on Instagram? It's like 700. I started off this live stream at 600. I am at 762 followers on Insta. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to Investment Joy, I would appreciate it. Like my videos, watch them. I get paid. I really, I've had all these people say, you should write a book. You should start I've had several people say I should start a course. You should do this. You should do that. From what I'm seeing on my YouTube numbers, there's no reason for me to ever do that because the ads are paying very well. So, all right. Well, I'm going to end this live stream. So take care, everybody. I hope you have a good evening. It's 1 o'clock here in Ohio. So